What is up, everyone? Holy shit. Has it been like a month now? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. As you know, I'm your boy SP. And oh my god, everything's melted. Everything's down the drain. Everything is burning. Because apparently people are divided on what. We'll get to it in the stream. I'm about to invite one of my friends up in here. Don't mind the counter. It's just gonna. We're starting now, basically. So, I'm just gonna call him up real quick. He better freaking answer. If he doesn't answer, I'll be really upset. Doesn't answer. I do stream by myself, lol. Feels bad. Alright, we'll wait for him to come back. I'm sure he'll call me eventually. Yeah. Yeah, give us like 2 minutes, guys. My friend, I don't know where he's at. Brian should be here around here somewhere. Just gonna fish him out of the grave. I know it's been a month since I've actually streamed on this channel. Big sad. Uh, but I've been gone because my house got to get renovated, and I couldn't like stream anything because all my stuff was in a different room. So it took 5 ever before I can get everything back to the way it was. But we're back here. Yay. So I just gotta get things going. If I copy that and I paste it, what does that do? It should do something, right? Oh no, it's okay. So it doesn't do anything. It just does something weird. All right. Don't worry, guys. I am a professional streamer, YouTuber, on my really bad PC. Professional. Honestly, I'm just trying my best not to do anything too crazy because one false move and this whole thing just goes up in flames. So, I hope you guys can hear me okay. According to my Streamlabs, I'm looking pretty cool. So I should be alright. Yeah? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Copy link. Come on, Discord. Don't die on me. I beg. just don't die on me, that's all I ask for. Just don't die on me. Where is this? Okay, I'm just gonna put it in here. Oh, there we go. Yo, this thing is moving like 30 frames a second. I'm actually getting scared. Oh, is he back? No, I don't think he's back. God dang it. Oh, I'll call him back. Bitch, answer your phone. Tell him I call him back, doesn't answer the phone. Excellent co-host. Amazing co-host. Awesome co-host. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be a kind of a long stream. I'm gonna timestamp like every topic, cause like it's our 1 month, you know. I'll timestamp every topic, and then you guys can go back and see our massive argument and whatnot and cool beans. So before we even get to Brian, one of my friends on Discord, actually wants to leave his 2 cents as well. So, oh fuck, is that you, Brian? Are you alive?
What? Maybe.
Hey, Brian's alive, everybody! Yay!
I may be here.
Yo, my PC is struggling right now.
Get a better PC.
You gotta pay for it?
No, but fucking save up money for it.
I'm saving up for a car. I don't got that YouTube money yet. But anyway, one of my friends, you know Squadra, right? One of my friends wants to give his 2 cents as well. So we're gonna have a third person in here. So yeah, just go to table 1. You ready?
I cannot hear you. Okay.
We on prod. Let me add him.
All right.
There we go. Bitch, move him. You man better move his ass. We got a show to do. It's been too long. Anyway, I'm not gonna stream my screen because I'm deathly afraid that my PC is gonna go up in flames if I do. So,
Yeah.
wait, what did you text me? Send me your It's on YouTube.
Oh, my bad.
It's on YouTube. There, check it on YouTube.
Thank you.
You'll see a timer if you click on it. It's not. We're not in the beans yet. I'm waiting on prod if you'll.
Alright.
Where you at? Honestly, I'm just happy that my PC is just. It's like we can do this. We can do this. It's like it's just barely hanging on. Just moving. Hey, here we go. All right, we got what's left of the squad. The whole squad in here, but again, what's up, everybody? This is SP. Welcome to the Craycast. I am Adine, your host. I'm joined here by Brian and Prod. I don't know Prod's real name. You never tell me.
It really don't matter at this point, bro. I'm looking at the community. The community's already burning over one card.
I'm gonna dox you on stream to my one viewer. But before we get to the community meltdown, right? We gotta take you back to where this all started, you know, because I've been gone for a month because they had to renovate the whole house and all my stuff was not here, as I said. But now we're back. So basically, right? What happened was that there was the producer letter, which we'll go over in a minute. I've read it like 2 times, but I want to go over the producer letter, and then I want to go over the
card that's burning on the Guardian community at this point.
What's up?
Yeah.
The one card that's burning down the whole Vanguardian community because everyone's losing their god shit mind.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah.
Context. Gotta get to the context. Because if we just say the community's melting down and no one's gonna know why, even though probably half of them do, but like we gotta get the context first. Context.
Okay, I'm just. This is just a preview. Exactly.
All right, so we have the producer letter. I'll go over it. It's from your boy K2 Mori. He's the new. He's a person producing Vanguard right now, and he was doing great, but apparently half the community thinks he's doing shit. Half thinks he's doing fine. But anyway. The producer starts with, "Hello to all Vanguard fans around the world. This is K2 Mori, Vanguard Project General Producer. It talks about the booster set, Brush of the Legends. I'm just gonna skim over. I'm not gonna read the whole entire thing. Nationwide aiming for 4 products per year.
Read the whole thing. Read the whole thing.
You want me to read the whole thing? Wait, you want me to read the whole thing?
All right. We're gonna do popcorn.
All right, I'll read a paragraph, and then Brian, you read a paragraph, and then.
Yeah.
But like, nah, for real though. He talks about the before products per year for Overdress. Talks about a bunch of the Legends. Hopefully, everyone's enjoying it. Lyrical Monasterio coming out. And then we also have results of various tournaments, marketing surveys, and questions made various decisions. Issue with producer letter. And we will focus on 2 topics that have been subject of many increases in opinions from both within Japan and overseas. Our future policy, maintain the card fight formats, just for the premium format. And the TC strategy presentation will be held on Tuesday. We'll go over that next after this letter. So in order to ensure everyone to continue to enjoy for everyone that continues to enjoy Cardfight Vanguard, we recognize the need to continue the developing. I can't read. Why? And releasing products of 3 major formats, standard. So basically, right, it says our policies of maintenance in the Cardfight environment for features follows: announce and implement updates to restrictions on a regular basis. Announce and implement for all 3 formats. Announce and implement for all 3 formats, DV and Premium, at the same time. Make separate announcements as needed, and announce and implement for both English and Japanese editions in tandem. So this means is that they're going to do a bit of an environment maintenance, i.e., ban list. That is.
Yeah.
We also plan to implement the following regular cycle of the maintenance in Cardfight environment. Regular cycle of environment maintenance 3 times a year. So basically, right, regular cycle of environment maintenance 3 times a year. So for the youngins in the back, right, we don't know this is of maintenance. Basically, take environment maintenance as a ban list. So basically, if the card comes out that's too broken, Derek, and you need to deal with it, right? That's environment maintenance, i.e., a ban list. So we get one in late January, implement on February 1st. We get one in May, implement on June 1st, and then the one that everyone's waiting on is late September, coming on October 1st. So late September, we're already in the 19th of September. We're in the middle of it right now. Very soon we'll hit to the, in the 24th, 25th. Everyone's suspecting that's going to come out, I don't know, next week. I don't know what y'all think. I think it's going to come out a bit sooner than that, but what do y'all think?
I hope it's this Tuesday. I hope it's this Tuesday, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's next Tuesday. It's either this Tuesday or next Tuesday.
Here's the thing. So it depends which format we're hitting first in this ban list right now. It's probably premium first ban list.
It's definitely premium.
It's premium. Here's the thing. premium as of now, with the top 6 being such like very, very toxic for the whole community that wants to at least play premium. But if you're playing against the top 6 in any competitive like area or anything, like everything below the top 6, it's actually enjoyable. Premium is an actually enjoyable format where you can actually interact a lot more with the cards. It's just right now the top 6 kind of takes off that interactive kind of thing and kind of healthy format where it's just, if you're not playing the top 6 in any competitive format and you're a sweat that wants to win like whatever at locals, you don't get to enjoy. You have to play the top 6.
Bro, I just want to play Shiryuki in premium, bro.
Exactly.
I just want to play Gears in premium, man.
Exactly. You can't even play Shiryuki in premium because you know what slaps you? Everything else. And even if you give him one counterblast means imminent death regardless. Like everything works to where you just need minimal resources for a high volume like hit rate to just kill you in that one turn.
So
bro, watch them hit Stride Yasui Tenma for Murakumo.
They're not gonna do that. That's stupid.
I know.
I highly doubt gonna do something like that.
I know. They're probably just gonna ban Nue.
Oh my god. But continuing with the letter, right, it says these announcements will be first made in the Vanguard Weekly Bytes program delivered in Japanese, with the translated information being shared globally alongside the program. So, Weekly Bytes program, I think that's going to be like the Tuesday stream, I don't know. And then, in line with the above policy, we'll make an announcement of a regular update for fighters rules in late September 2021 as part of the maintenance for 3 major formats. So all the questions we have with the order cards and the V era, D era, shipping some of the premium stuff, we're going to address that. I hope they do. I have questions. Anyway, our perception of the play environment at the time writing this letter at the end of August 2021 is summarized below. Nation Fight. Standard D era, 5 Great Nations booster set. Boosters are 4. Lyrical Monster booster at 1. Collaboration products, special products, etc. will be released in between the above 6 nations. We are keeping an eye on some deck trends, but it's within our expectations. See, okay, this right here is the red flag strike 1. We are keeping an eye on some deck trends, but it's within our expectations. Sure, mate.
That we'll probably get to that topic after we get to
everyone was like, but Bruce though, but Bash though. But we'll get to that in a second. You know, the whole nonsense that came with that.
Yeah.
And
I'll have a comment.
What's up?
Like when we get there, I'll have a comment.
Yeah, who joined the call?
It's
Dusty.
My.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is our other friend Steve. I don't know if he's staying for the podcast, but you know.
Oh, am I on a podcast now?
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
You gonna add to the conversation, or are you just gonna stay here and watch?
What are we talking about, Bruce?
We're talking about the Immortal letter right now.
Okay, just SP keep going. He'll probably.
So its environment is being watched closely as its most frequent product launches. It's fucking better. We are keeping eye on some deck trends between expectations. So the one for V era. They're obviously like the minute we see this, we're like, okay, what about Prism? What about Overlord? What about Gav? What about Lu? Like all of these issues, right? You're saying it's within your expectations. All right, I hope we see some type of card because like when we saw Heal Guardians were like, okay, that's a step in the right direction. But these decks, right, like Prism and Gav are still massive issues. Overlord, we don't care about them all that much because Heal Guardian just checked that deck real quick.
Overlord is just Overlord. It's how I feel about Overlord is just, it's like Gabriel in a nutshell, but Gabriel has more drive checks and more checks for like triggers. Overlord is just big number.
Is that the reason why I'm saying, what's up? Go ahead, Brian.
All right, for me with V Premium, it doesn't need such drastic changes. Maybe like curb Prism a little bit, like because in my last local tournament, like I asked Alex because he plays Prisms during tournaments. And at the end of the tournament, I was like asking him like, what do you think should be done about Prism? Like what tips them over the edge? And he did tell me like
Ellie.
Ellie, like just being a 20k guard. And Lieselot, I don't know why the fuck they thought they could just put her back to 4.
Lieselot, I feel like, here's the thing. Lieselot needs to be a choice restriction to Prism.
No. Lieselot's just, in herself, is just a busted card. She should just
It's a busted card. It was, listen. We all remember the Bermuda hell that was that summer on release of Bermuda.
Yeah.
And V-Series. and Bermuda was everywhere. Like
yeah.
at that moment, like this is what's healthy right now, especially for D series. It's not the Bermuda hell that we were in V series, where literally if you are not playing Bermuda locally, you are not at least topping. Like anywhere in the top 8 or any top 4 in locals, you will see a Bermuda, or at least all the top 4 or top 8 being a majority of Bermuda Triangle in V series.
Yeah.
And Lisa contributed.
In my opinion, I haven't been interning in a few weeks, in a few months actually, because I've been busy with other stuff, like I've been adulting. But when I see Prism, and I fought against Prism a couple times. The thing is that what I see when I fight against Prism, right? They're so defense, like their offense. I put in the same level as like I don't know Mordred. Their offense isn't anything to like. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not overbearing like Gav or Overlord. It's not terrible, but their defense is so fucking huge. Like they're the most linear deck in the format, and they don't fucking die. They won't die. Fucking die.
Here's the thing.
They won't die.
Here's the thing. Prism can get so much steam leading up to their grade 3. Hence why the G1 and G2 turns are very crucial in the early games if you have an early game rush at least an early game rush in that deck, in your deck inherently. So decks like Murakumo, like Yasui, Ario on a first grade 2 ride, on top of what maybe an Ataka, a 19k column against a, what is it, 8k if you're going first. It's, again, we're going down the dice roll, boys. Time to win Yahtzee. Like, everything is a direct B premium right now, but how Prism is built is that they are building advantage thanks to, again, Lieselot, Ellie also existing, just because even by grade 3, you just need, 2 Ellies? To just have a free 20k shield.
Yeah, like Prism in general is just a massive issue. But of course, right, it's not our only format. So they said for Clan Fight Premium, we notice a number of major issues. You sure that's the only format that has major issues, but it's whatever. All over the world, various appealing card games, both analog and digital, Flesh and Blood, Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, are working hard in their own way to maintain their environments to be fun to play. Cardfight Vanguard is also looking to maintain the play environment based on various measures such as compensating for extreme deviations in game speed and enjoyment and win rate, corrections of errors, and so on. So touch on maintenance. So basically they talk about clan selection and then complex format, game breaking effects, infinite loops, all that nonsense.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, wait, are we wrapping up V right now?
Oh, we're not talking about V right now. We're talking about premium at this point, and like.
Yeah, sorry. My dad just called me. That's why I wasn't like talking at all.
No, you're fine.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, we're fine.
But can we just like go back to V for a little bit so I can add my 2 cents on it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So with V, outside like Prism just needs a small little hit.
It's just
maybe just Ellie. Maybe Ellie and Lieselot just hit those like
choice restriction basically would be a better option for that.
Oh really? I don't know. Like just having one or the other just seems kind of absurd, honestly.
It's honestly, here's the thing with Prism. Like they have to choose between the two because Ellie allows more survivability, especially if your deck. So think of Luard, right? Luard can actually go toe to toe with Prism if played correctly. A matchup.
All right.
Like, here's the thing. Luard is a lot scarier because, one, it's, again, you have the Apocalypse Bat combo and everything, not to mention everything has a crit.
Yeah.
Except the Vanguard swing. So, thinking in player psychology-wise, right? If we're at least, here's the thing. If you can keep Prism at 4, with 4 face-down damage is amazing against Prism. You've effectively controlled everything against them to where they can't get multi-attacking, but yet they have just thick hands at that point, and maybe a triple drive. Because I don't think, Vert just needs a Soul Blast and bind something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what all it needs, and it's just stuck with 3 attacks. Luard, on the other hand, has 1, 2, 3, if you can extend more, 4, 5 attacks on that one turn. And they're all critical once you reach to your second Luard.
Yeah, I
And
haven't really played against Luard very often. Would you say that he would need at least a small hit?
not really.
So
Here's the thing.
honestly,
Okay.
right, I can tell you right
Luard-
now. I've played Luard. I've built Luard. I played with Luard multiple times. That in the main hit is that's all I needed. Like honestly,
Okay,
Luard, if I
okay.
compare Luard to Prism, I think Prism is light years ahead of Luard right now. Like honestly,
Okay.
I understand like Luard,
It-
and it's like on turn 4 it can be really threatening. But to be honest, right, it takes them turn after turn after turn to build up to that threatening level. It's only when you had in the main with Superior Road, hit your Luard and swung and you just like, ha, you're dead on turn 2. No. It takes them time to get to that level.
it's a very, very like they already did the hit, which they thankfully did right, which was Bendy. God forsake, God fucking damn you if you thought Bendy was balanced in B premium, guaranteeing Luard that the 2 grade 3s on the first freaking ride. What is wrong with you? Like I physically want to know who in their right mind and card design thought, oh, people are just gonna run the Bendy and the PBD line and everything, and that's a-okay. No, honey, we got in the main, we got and Luard. You think people in this community are gonna not see this bullshit that you've created?
Like
With,
to be
like,
honest,
people-
I put Luard in like the same camp as like Gurgit because when Gurgit got hit, right, everyone was like, "Oh, Gurgit's dead." No, Gurgit still does stupid things. Like when I play,
Gurgit went from an overwhelmingly busted deck to an like actually manageable deck, but like
honestly,
it can still make
honestly,
plays,
like,
but it's like actually manageable.
even without
Like-
Aglo, even
It's
without
basically
Percival,
not-
right? Even without Percival, like the fact that she really can use Aglovale, which your deck has Edmund, that's basically a grade 3 Aglovale that has 10k shield. Like all you gotta do is ride Gurgit, never Gurgit again, and get the same set of results. It's a turn slower. That's it. Like you ride Gurgit again, and then you get the same exact results. Like nothing's wrong with Gurgit. It's just that you didn't do it on turn 3. Like they slowed down the deck exponentially, which is great.
And then for Gabriel, I would just say choice restrict her and no seal because just removing any semblance of counterplay against that deck just doesn't seem very healthy.
I'd shoot no seal honestly. I don't think this will kill the deck if you just took a hand meal. It won't kill it. It'll make it a lot more manageable because like the fact that you can even without no seal, the fact that you can literally because like remember right, even without no seal, they have the heal guardian. Just give themselves damage. They don't care. So
like here's no, push it to the brink of it. Where honestly, having the 1 damage is fine. They don't have anything else. You're stuck with 2 damage. No seal, on the other hand, said, "Yo, let me help you, homie. Let me get one of my no seal bitches out of the damn deck and put it in the damage zone." Oh wait, at the end of the.
And the fact that it's not even once per turn is even stupider.
Exactly. So it's
like that's the big problem I had because like even if you put Gabriel at 0 damage, you kept them at 0 damage, they could just put themselves at 3. You
just
there was no seal removed any counterplay against that deck. You couldn't keep them at 1. You couldn't keep them at 2 damage. Couldn't keep them at 1 damage. Couldn't even keep them at 0 damage. They're gonna get that 3 counterblast, and that just didn't seem healthy whatsoever.
To me, like here's the thing: Gabriel falls in the same echelon with like Overlord, where it's relying on triggers, but at the same time, it has a lot higher power seal and a lot more threatening column. In my opinion,
like Gabriel is like busted for one thing. Like Gabriel and Overlord are kind of like in the same camp in terms of how they feel in V series. They just kind of feel like toxic decks. Like even after heal guardians, even if Overlord wouldn't necessarily be busted, it just feels kind of toxic to play against.
But on the bright side now, Gabriel has to run heal triggers now. No.
Real quick. Even with honestly, right, I agree and disagree with that point, Brian, because like even with the heal guardians, if you think about it, right, Overlord is attacking you for maybe say 2. So let's say you don't see any of the Claymore Wyverns, right? It's 13k 2 crit heal guardian. Even if they don't do the -2 crit, it's still a fucking 15k shield. And I'm pretty sure that 10k is the 10k on the turn. So even with the 13k 2 crit, it's a far more manageable than their fucking 60, 70k 7 critical no sentinels. Like honestly, I would argue that Overlord is more manageable than Hamiel. Far more manageable than Hamiel, even without the two Guardians.
Like, here's the thing. Overlord, at least you can PG and Sentinel. With Hamiel, you don't get jack diddly shit.
Unless you want to cough out your whole hand and stuff that attack, which even in that case...
Gabriel would feel a lot more balanced if there was just that counterplay of keep them at 2 damage until you get your resource engine going. Because then once you get that resource engine going, then yeah, you can probably take on those Hamiels even if they get a bunch of crits because I already have a really big hand.
Yeah, you've built up, you prepared for the Hamiel at that point in time. Like, the only deck that can actually go toe-to-toe to it is just Shirayuki with any Yasui. Yeah. Like, anything Murakumo related, anything with Shirayuki, like...
Okay, so like, with Shirayuki, like, that deck has a fantastic matchup against Gabriel. The only thing is, it doesn't really have that great of a matchup against everything else.
Exactly.
Now, if we're talking about counterplays, right, I've heard in the grapevine that after Clan Collection, which if this is true, proves to me that they probably won't hit anything in V Premium. I've heard that the new Lane Joker support absolutely checks Prism. Like it just they don't have anything against it because they just come now. They turn Lane Joker from locking like 1 or 2 to locking like 4.
No! Please don't! CBD, the way to design CBD was so fantastic. If they go back to that mass lock BS, that's just.
If we go,
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Now the it's an infinite.
We're forgetting.
Zero Dragon.
Please, do not go back to that mass lock garbage.
Here's the thing.
The thing is that Starbait Infinite Zero Dragon. Like, just reading the effect, it's like, yeah.
Glendos is confirmed. There is no way we're gonna avoid this bullshit.
It says, when you see this placed on Vanguard or when voted upon, counterboss when it's card from your hand, choose 1 opponent's rear guards and lock it. If your damage has 4 more cards, choose one of each rear guard's opponent's front row and back row instead of 1. So you basically limit break 4, lock 2.
Basically, it's old.
At least that is limit break 4. At least it's limit break 4.
Yeah, but the thing is that, right? When you use Infinite Zero Dragon, right? When you place it first, you're already locking a card in the front row, which heavily limits Prism. Then when you ride upon it, right, you're locking more units, which again heavily limits Prism. And at their point, like, oh well, this is a bad time.
No. Here's the thing: the tech played, which would be funny enough, would be using the grade 1, retiring the unit, and get rid of their force markers as well.
This is why I'm really happy I main Yasui, because that doesn't really affect me that much, because I generally just don't have a board at the end of my turn.
Exactly.
But, like, I guess, like, against some decks, like other force decks, that can help check them. So I guess that's kind of like a necessary evil.
GBD is one of the most, like, what is it? It's the most anti-meta deck I've ever seen because of its own skill, and it was well balanced enough that it doesn't have a force marker on ride. Thank fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
and Zero does well.
That's a different story. Infinite Zero is infinite. At least you can ride over CBD. Not have to worry about a second force marker coming down and saying, "Oh fuck."
See, at least with CBD, you can actually reasonably play a grind game with that deck.
Yeah,
because they don't just gain a crit for no fucking reason, which I feel like is great.
Yeah, honestly, CBD, right? I think the route with it, I think it's good because even with the lock, honestly, even the potential lock 3, and if you do it right, lock 4 with the grade 2 Zirconium. Like, the only crit they're getting is off of Zirconium, that's it. Like
I've said before with, like, the CBD release, like, even when CBD got revealed for clan selection, the deck was still slow because it's the turn 4 deck and you had to supply it with something else. Like, what is it? Messiah was the best option for the deck at that time on release, if you think about it. Because Messiah gave you an optimal grade 3 ride, first grade 3 ride. Because CBD as a first grade 3 ride was... you're not doing anything, honey. Like, actually.
Yeah. So, I think we've got our opinions out on V so far. So, I think we'll move on to Premium, which, of course, they said we have noticed a number of issues. Then all over the world, various opinions. So, we already read that. Let me start with...
Literally, just look at all the top 8s on BSFO. One top.
It says, let me start with the conclusion. We will be making some major changes in comparison to previous years regarding the premium environment with the announcement of late September 2021, implemented to October 1st. Time's limited.
I don't really play premium very often, mostly because I just don't like playing Murakumo in that format because of Niue.
It's what's carrying. So Niue is what basically carry.
Yeah, I know. It's literally just a Nova Grappler card. It's a fucking Nova Grappler card. I don't play Nova Grappler. I play Murakumo. Why are you giving me Nova Grappler support?
It's a Nova Grappler card with a bonkers like freaking garbage.
Yeah. Like, I would have liked better if they kind of like played around with bouncing, like say, just bounce, like say Soul Blast 1, bounce 2 units with the same name or something to the bottom of the deck, and not have such a busted effect.
No, like if you looked at the Premium Collection 2019 card, Shirabaku Victor, that card actually made Murakumo a lot more like, I actually have to think of attack order and everything. It really comes to
pretty much every Murakumo deck.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I've played Murakumo since G. You always have to pay attention to attack order.
It really just made Murakumo such like a funnier deck, and it made it think like you get more resources. It basically did a Tenma skill, but you can add them to hand.
Yeah, it's like, Murakumo and G was like really technical, but like Niue really kind of just deleted all of that.
Yeah.
It literally. Technical. Let's yeet that out and let's give ourselves a garbage trick and reset.
The thing is that Murakumo isn't the only problem that can deform it. Obviously, we know that we can go on for hours on how many on the decks that. Good God, freaking! I can't name one off the top of my head. DI, lol.
Don't.
Regulars, Fenrir. Like I don't even play premium, but already know about those decks.
General,
and just
fucking...
the fact that
here's the thing. They somehow made Fenrir loop worse from how it was in G era. They physically made it worse with Glipnir.
And things that's not the only problem. It's freaking Gleipnir loop, Valkyrion loop, like
just ban Taro, please, just ban Taro.
Loop with the token, like.
Not to mention, don't forget Sarzan gets you can call down the grade 2 and the grade 1. Because they're vanillas in G era.
Madness. So, continue with the letter, right? As this was the first of our regular announcement, this is a large amount of information to be covered, as the presentation will only cover the general points at this time, with the details posted on the official website. In Premium, which is the appeal of being long-lived and complex, environment, there are often cases where the synergy between certain combinations of cards from different release periods are too powerful, even create infinite loops, Genesis, other potential game-breaking effects, DI, or decision to make a major action not simply in response to the heated community debate. Heated ain't even the word, nuclear. But because of the issues have been clearly identified from various data, of course, we will continue to keep a close eye on how these changes affect the environment, and we will consider additional restrictions and balances as necessary. Ban all strides.
Like, I just don't understand how Gastille dodged the ban list so many times when he, by design, limits their card design for anything Dark States or Dark Irregular.
The Daimonis was not a problem. It was fine. Everything was fine and dandy in the thing. Then the new Gastille came out. Then shit hit the ceiling fan.
It's like just by design, even if he wasn't busted on release, just by design. You should have known, literally any grade 3 could potentially break him. He limits card design just by existing.
Exactly. Why do you think we have a shitty Reiji now?
So he continues on. Well, I'm certain there will be a lot of discussion when we make the announcements in September. All of us involved projects really hope that everyone's using a new format. Then a little bit of an ad for Revolve Selection, Clan Collection Volume 1 and 2, get yours today, lol. New Heel Guardian, as the picture shows. And then he says something that's kind of a bombshell, a new premium product to be released soon in 2022. for both Japanese and English. So that's the K2 Morning letter. To be honest, right, it was to be. Let's say that the events of the last few days just didn't happen. Everyone was freaking hype after this, right? So we're gonna go over to their reveal study because I ain't too lazy to go to another website.
Oh, we're finally covering the bullshit card that everyone's just losing their godshit mind over now.
We're gonna go over their product stream, then we'll go over the nonsense. So, we'll talk about reveals of these cards in a minute. I just want to go over what happened in the product stream. Obviously, Flagberg, Nordlinger, and Greedon all got revealed in their abilities. Because I was gone for a month, I didn't have time to stream the new stuff. So we're just going to do all of that in one take after we talk about the meltdown. So, just going to keep scrolling up. So yeah, Greedon got revealed. So some big points that we saw during the stream was, if I can find it, the Bioroid youth who awoke 2,000 years ago, Roloa. I like how no one was talking about the cray crossover epic story they're doing, but cool. Moving on. Overdrive Season 2 key visual. Season 2 is gonna come out in October. Can't wait. It's gonna be freaking great. Can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. Lol. I actually enjoyed Season 1. I don't know about y'all, but Season 1 I thought it was really fun.
Bro, flag burning, let's go.
Flag burning, yo.
Flag burning,
honestly, right? To be honest,
no. You know who's gonna lead the flag burning now? Flagberg.
Shut the fuck.
Bro, come on, it's right there in its name. It's obvious.
No.
Oh my god.
You're very too bad saying Dinkelberg, right? It's gonna be Flagberg.
Get it? Flagberg, Flagburn. Shut. Anyway, then one of the antagonists, Shinobuki Kajita, is using Greedon. Lucky him. Gets the dragon. Looks great. Then Haruki Sokoa, who was talking to the one chick, is getting Nordlinger, this piece. And then the one thing that made me absolutely lose my mind was set 4. Which was Nirvana, what was it? Nirvana Evolve. Chocolate about to eat Awakening. There we go.
So you're talking about
this massive ass fucking Gundam looking, Digimon looking, massive ass drag. This
You mean hold on. So wait, which one is this? Which Chrono Jet is this now?
I'm guessing next stage.
Next stage.
But like,
It's not next stage.
Honestly, this is a mix of next stage and Ezel.
It's literally either Gear Groovy, maybe next stage. You already got like next stage and Valiente though.
It's definitely next stage.
It's next stage.
This is
It's 100% next stage.
No, where you got next stage? This is Gear Groovy. No, we got next stage. No. We got next stage in Valiente. We got Gear Next in Urger. This is just fucking Heritage.
It's not Heritage. It's literally Ragnarok without the guard restrict.
No, the new card. We don't know what the new card does. Hopefully, it does something awesome. Honestly, right? To be honest, everyone would be happy if it says overdress, resist. That's it. That's all it does. Just overdress, resist.
That card's been revealed.
No, not Expecta. I'm talking about Expelati, or whatever his name is. So.
No, Expecta. It's not Expecta. Oh, that's not Expecta?
No, that's Esperlidia. Esperlidia. Automatopoeia there.
My god, why do they look the same? My fucking Christ.
So we got Bavasragara. Whoever names these cards is making it very hard, because I'm gonna say ride gets new weapons in PTO4. She gets a spear, and she gets a Glock. She gets a nerf. She gets a fucking nerf gun. She gets an actual nerf gun.
So now we're introducing equip cards in this game.
Yeah, and then we're getting a new collab. No one cares. And then what made everyone, honestly, right? Like, I think everyone was like, "Oh, V Premium was okay." What made everyone jump back to V Premium wasn't the Hero Guardians, wasn't clan selection. It was the reverse.
No, I think the Heal Guardians were pretty good.
But like whenever we saw
reverse,
Heal Guardians
raging form reverse, like good god, man.
here's the thing: the Hilo Guardians were the appetizers. Then came the reveal of Clan Collect. What is it? Clan Collection? 5 and 6.
It's Clan Collection Volume 3 and 4, and apparently we're getting a 5 and 6 as well.
Exactly.
So I can't wait to finally be able to build Hiyaki Vogelverse.
So basically, so you see here, right? Van Clan Collection Volume 3 and 4 next year. Volume 5 and 6 sometime in summer 2022. Reverse units will show up in Volume 5 and 6. Mad.
Here's the thing. So, do we get new reverse units in 5 and 6? And are they also going to delay Glendios? Like,
I don't know, maybe.
Because here's our thing. Right now, in the state of V Premium, it's kind of healthy right now. Do we really want to introduce mass locking of the entire board and get WinCon and Limit Break 5
I don't honestly, right, if they're going to reveal Glendios, I think it'll be like BF 5 damage, turn all damage face down, soul blast everything, then you probably just win the game after that. Like, you have to use up all your resources, and then block the whole board, and then win the game. You know?
Hear me out, right? New Glendios? Bring back Mega Blast.
Yeah, bring back Mega Blast, bro. Make us work for
Mega Blast win the game. Makes sense. If you make it through the entire game.
That far, hell yeah.
If you make it that far, you deserve that win, not gonna lie.
Exactly. Soul Blast 8, Counter Blast 5, perfect.
See, I see nothing wrong with this.
At least with the advent of XL markers, XL decks can probably kind of check Glendios if they do make him somewhat similar to his old counterpart.
The thing is that, right, if they say unlock 5 more units, then that just doesn't matter at that point.
They would have to add mass lock.
Yeah.
But honestly, if they were to add mass lock, it would have to specifically be for that deck. But even then, they should make you have to work for it.
Yeah.
Like, if you just mass lock all one turn and then just be like, okay, if you don't kill me, I just instantly win, that just doesn't seem fun to play against. Like, it should be like an actual struggle. Like, maybe make it so that lock their back row units first, right? Like, make it so that you have to lock their back row units first, and if they don't have any if they have no face up unit in the back row, then you can do front row. Maybe they could do something like that.
I think honestly, if they can do it right, punish the opponent for waiting too long. That's something they can do, you know. Honestly, make the at world end, because that's what it's called in the anime. Make the at world end like a turn 7 or turn 8, you know. Like make the game last that long. To the opponents be like, I gotta kill you as fast as possible, or on turn 7, turn 8, I'm gonna lose. And then as they're trying to beat you, trip them up by like, so I'm gonna lock this card, lock the card in the back row, lock this card, and as they're trying to figure out how the hell they're gonna beat you, time's up, you lose.
Like, here's how they can take Glendios in 2 ways. It can get certain, like, they could do the Reiji route where you have to have a certain amount of lock cards on the board, and they get this X amount of skills to at least somewhat let it survive the long game.
So I'm hearing is like lock 1 or more, get X effect. Lock 3 or more, get X effect. Lock 5 or more, do X ability, do X cost, win the game.
Yeah.
That's fair. We don't have any. Well, do we have any win cons in premium? Do we have any? Well,
see,
I don't think we can count Rage.
With that, you would have to like ask how they're going to design the actual process of locking 5 units. Like,
so
are they gonna bring back Omega Lock? What type of cost are they gonna give Omega Lock if they do that again?
So I think lock 1 or more, do X effect. Lock 3 or more, Omega Lock. That's what Omega Lock's gonna go to when you lock 3 or more, and then lock 5 or more. And then, like, discard, like, X cards from hand, pay X Counter Blast, pay X Soul Blast. At the start of the opponent's next turn, you win.
Like, here's another thing you can do. You can have it revolve around the reverse cards as well, where you have to discard reverse cards as well.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Exactly. You have to discard.
They would have to do that, yeah.
No. You have to discard the same number of locked cards and reverse cards, and you have to be different names. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
It's one of the most balanced ways I can see it going.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if you can somehow let them get the reverse cards to have maybe some 5k or 10k shield, it allows for its survivability, but also loses its win con.
You know what's really funny? I ride Jammy, fuck you.
I'll let go of Jammy. The card doesn't...
I write Jamie get fucked.
Jamie Congo reverse. Let's see it.
Jamie Congo reverse. Oh
Jamie
my
Congo
God.
reverse, baby. Let's go.
Oh my
I
god.
don't even care for Nubas, and I want that.
So if you guys didn't know, right? Well, we're moving on from we have the product schedule. So September DBTO3, but that's for fucking Japan. SEO6 in October. Star Season 2 in October. So for English, right, in September we're getting revival selection for premium. October we're getting I don't know what we're getting in October. I forgot. I think it's Lyric Monasterio. And then in November we're getting V Clan collection, and then December we're getting Set 3.
Yeah. So
and then January we're getting SDO6. It's February we're getting the other. So we're very far behind from Japan right now.
Yeah. No. So Lyrical Monasterio set comes out October 15th. November I think is the V Clan
collection is November. Yeah.
Yeah.
December.
Revival. Here's the problem. I think we also had. I think one thing's getting delayed. I don't know if it's Revival or it's the what's it called? There's another delay. I heard. It's one of the two. It's either Set 3 or Revival.
We got delayed twice. That's why we're so many months behind.
I think we might have another delay.
Yeah. So seriously.
So a third. So another third delay, maybe like a week or two. I don't remember. I heard chatter about it during locals. I can't remember. But I think we have another delay coming in our way, so we're gonna be even far behind.
Fucking better not.
Better
we got nothing last month. That's what's annoying. We got nothing last month.
Here's the thing. It saves our wallets. Let's be completely honest. As card game players,
it saves our wallets, but I'm bored.
Damn. I want my foolish burial for Zorgo already, bro.
I want my freaking things here. I want my Chronos command. Come on.
Oh my god. Y'all it's
taking too long.
It's only 2 months, and then we have.
overdress is expensive in the first place.
The fact that he's not wrong about that is hilarious. So we got some Zero news as well. I think we're gonna get. So we're in the middle of Legion right now in English. So we're gonna get set 20 in next month, and at the month of that we're gonna get the last set for Legion. So we're probably gonna be in G in November, December time. That's when we're gonna come to G for English, not for because English are getting in October. So for English, for Japan it's in October, but for English it could be in December time. We're not that far off, unlike fucking real life Garfight Vanguard. And then we have some reveals for Nirvana. Blazing Fist Monk 10G when it seems placed on Rearguard when over your save you draw a card. All that cool stuff. And then we have Prayer of Visiting Wishes. Choose one of your Vanguards into end of turn. It gets Auto Vanguard when your Rearguard is placed in overdress state, draw a card. This unit gets plus second in turn. So I like this one a lot because it says when your Rearguard is placed in overdress state, draw a card. That's a pretty big fucking refund.
It's a nice refund, but again, the issue is with how overdress is. You have Arena Arcs. You have this with this order now. It feels like you're gonna deck yourself out in some point in time.
I mean, you're gonna deck yourself out, but at least you'll have a hand to do something because Arc sometimes just isn't enough.
Yeah, here's the thing. I completely understand that. I've seen a lot of arena players locally. Their one issue, especially, is big volume attacks that they can't guard or they somehow survive, but yet don't have anything to replenish afterwards. This card honestly fixes their hand issue, which is I feel like gives them a lot more survivability. But again, it goes down to a ticking time clock as well by the end of the day.
If you think about it, right? When you do the current combo right now is you go Daimari, you go Trickstar, Urger, then you have Valiant on the side, or you have another Overwatch inside, Tag Vanguard, Swing, Kill. That's the current strategy. Honestly, I would kick out Daimari for this. I would.
No, it's fair. That's the thing. You want the if you prefer the survivability, that's the one tech option you have. But you also, if you prefer the rush, preferability, which was Daimari, because right now, how the deck really thrives right now is doing the rush combo with Daimari, Trickstar, and all that other bullshit.
Yeah. Honestly, right, I don't think people understand that whenever you overdress, it's a neg on your hand, and the only one that doesn't neg is arcs. This removes that neg. So if you thought we had big hands now, just wait.
Oh no, you guys have at least a good enough of shield to at least survive for a turn.
Hell yeah. Like, this is perfect. I like this order. I like it a lot.
And you have something to actually replenish it.
Yeah.
Like, you can survive and then replenish. My god, thank you.
So, we have the next one, which is the new Varina Expecta. So it has overdress unit, overdress state, continuous rear guard. This unit gets original power, all original dress. So if you're confused about that, right? If you have Varina arcs and you have Very Valiente, it'll gain plus 23. If you have Trickstar, gain plus 28. So it'll be 28 plus 13. It'll be a 41k base at all times. That's the highest base power we've seen ever for Varina.
Okay. Here's a problem about overdress skill.
Let me finish. You fact. Once the unit attacks a grade 3 Greater Vanguard, right? If it's in the overdress rate, cost counterblast 1, so it gets plus 15 power and plus 1 critical at the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put all its units' original dress into the drop zone. And when its units lose overdress state, so it becomes a vanilla.
Okay, so it's one of the first actual cards that has an actually high base power outside of the big two. Outside of the big two, this is one of the actually good cards that really has a big base power, and it's really threatening in a deck that's not considered up there, but can actually compete in the meta.
So, in my opinion, I understand. No, I understand the massive negative of this card is that it loses all of its original dress. I understand that, but
it's a crap.
But the thing is, right? What you understand is that it's a 41k base at
40
all times.
It's coming at your face.
Yeah.
So how I see this card being honestly used is either for the late game when your opponent's at 4 or when you're at 5, because you see you see the end game. Yeah. You want to end that game right then and there, knowing the quality of your opponent's hand, knowing how little they have in shield. With that much knowledge in your ball court, you have this card to guarantee at least a kill.
So what makes this even more funny is that, so let's say you start with Trickstar, right? This in combination with Prayer of Resonating Wishes is absolutely insane. So you start with Trickstar, right? Call it, right? Then you use Resonating Well Wishes, counterblast 1. Overdress into arcs. Counterblast 1 again, so it's 2 CB, draw 3, right? Overdress into Valiente, draw 1. Overdress into Expecto, draw 1. So now we just drawn 5 for overdressing 3 times.
But you're still plus 1 in hand.
It's actually just the counterblast 1 that's an issue right now as well. It's just.
I mean, the thing is that counterblast issues is something, but you have Urger in the deck.
Also, it doesn't really fix the one issue of achieve your overdress unit, retire it.
I mean,
exactly.
Okay, time out. Let me go over the argument of popping overdress card, right? And now every deck has the ability to pop things, and because of that, overdress is not bad. I'm
not saying it's bad.
Let me hit you something, right? Let me get real close to the mic so you hear in the back. Every deck has that issue, 5-head.
What?
Every deck has that issue. It's not just Dragon Empire.
Here's the thing is, you put so much more resources into your overdress units. If you don't draw Resonating Wishes, you're going pretty minus.
Right. Okay, hang on. If you don't draw Resonating Wishes, right, yeah, it's a minus. But the thing is, right, is that I can say the exact same thing for every other deck. I can say the same thing for Magnolia. I can say it for Bastion. If you kill all Bastion shit, you can't call from you can't Spirit Call yet, so it hurts a lot. I can say that for Bruce. If you kill off Bruce shit, the Kid Spirit Claw hurts a lot. Every deck, right, that you see, don't think that just because you're playing Varina, you're the only deck that gets hit by Retire. You just get hurt slightly more. That's it.
Okay. So, so let me defend you here. Why I think, here's my overall argument, especially with this, is that Overdress is balanced just because every other fucking deck in this format has something wrong with it. Let's be completely honest. Okay. Going down those 6, the current decks we have right now, right? So so I'll start with Prison because I play Prison. The major issue that Prison has is going to 3 Prison. Now, did you get cards to fix Prison? Yes, in set 2. The grade 2 order and the grade 1, Bag of Owner. At the cost of resting 1 unit for a possible boost, and a cost of using your one order card, which you don't give a fuck, and your opponent needing 4 or more cards in hand.
That
Now,
8K almost never matters, though.
That 8, no, it kind of matters in certain cases, because sometimes you want that 8K to boost your 15K attacker, which just makes it into a 23K yummy number for 15K guard.
It is a good number, don't get me wrong.
Like,
but would you rather have that versus that being the deciding factor between getting triple drive?
it really does. It really does at that point. Because you just value...
Go ahead.
Not to mention, here's interesting. So, going into other decks, like Magnolia, issue is Soul Charge. They resolved that issue in set 2 with the Elephant. Now they have an issue with CB. And now they're getting that resolution because of the freaking grade 1. That's basically a
love
Bulba
Aquaforce grade 1.
It's an Aquaforce grade 1 that's a Bulba Mind clone. Does not fix the deck entirely, but at least fixes it gradually. Bastion has no fucking shield. So basically it's still susceptible to grade 1, grade 2 rush. But even then,
Good.
it's just like, it's still explosive as a deck, regardless. Bruce is very piece reliant. Let's see. So what's currently ending Bruce's board right now, right? We look at Leonard, Marjorie, and Protobulb. Those are the 3 cards Bruce loves to end on. Thinking on it as a bigger thing as well, think of it this way. Leonard's release allowed Bruce to get 2 free hits on Vanguard. Marjorie would be on a Helldive Full Blast or on a Persona Ride. Using its skill solely is a 33k column without boost.
So,
thinking that.
Real quick, right? Because I'm thinking in my head, right? The positives over the negatives of this card. Now, the only massive negatives of Expecta is that you lose your original dress. Now, I'm going to turn that into a positive, right? Let's say I go first, okay? Well, sorry, let's say I go second, right? You ride your thing, right? And you're about to imprison my stuff. What's stopping me from from using Resonating Wishes, going into this, using it early, and then removing on my original dress? That way, when you imprison it, you don't get as much value. What's
they have
from doing that?
Exactly.
They have to be grade. You have to be grade 3 for it to use that effect.
That's what I'm saying.
Well.
For 1 second, though. That's what I'm saying for 1 second.
Oh right, if you're going second, okay.
So
exactly,
also,
like,
right, what makes Leonard? No, sorry, one more second, Prod. What makes Leonard so disgusting is that if it hits right your rear guard, it retires it. This thing right here says unless you're able to use your Persona Ride, use the order card that you plus 10k to front row, and you're boosting, you're not touching this.
Well,
this literally flips off Leonard and says, "Hit me, I dare you, do it."
No, not even SP. Here's the thing: it forces your opponent to intercept with a damn Leonard. Think about the shield value in this era. Everything's a 5k shield except for triggers. So that's where the Bruce player has the ball in his court. He has to decide what piece does he have to surrender. Exactly my point. That Bruce is piece reliant. You cannot end the game without either Leonard or Marjorie on the board. Without one of those 2 key cards, you are not guaranteed 1 or 2 Vanguard hits. Marjorie is a perfect number for you to drop 2 cards, and you're gonna 95% of the time you are gonna let that Marjorie hit. Just because you care more for the Leonard to swing.
Also, I also want to argue the fact that if you use the, so as we did the math, right, 5k, 10k, that's what, 28 plus 13, that's 41k, right? This is a 41k attack coming at your Vanguard. That is 2 15k shields. I didn't even talk about Persona Ride or Nirvana's ability. So let's say we do that all in tandem, right? Put them all together. That's now 61k. No, you know what? Let's put the 15k power on it. Full power, full blast. This thing is hitting you for 77,000 to critical. No, let's put a boost on it. This thing is hitting for 85,000 to critical. I pray you have a PG, because if you don't, you're taking it to the face.
Exactly. It's either pray for PG or drop. Even the freaking over trigger doesn't save you.
And also right. This is just
it's a 2-card drop.
No. Prod. This is just one. This is one Expecta. What if I have 2?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yo,
not even
Prince stands in the era.
Here's the thing. This Expecta gives you a pressure card. What every card right now needs in Overdress is some sort of end board game state that can push for game.
Yeah.
And here's my issue, especially with all of Bradgate Nation. Bradgate does not have an end board state. You know what they rely on? Fucking triggers.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, as it stands, Brandgate as a whole entire nation does not have a kill turn. It can control, it can keep up pace, but at the same time, by the late game, if you just lose steam at the late game, and your deck is out, like that's the only issue. Like even Brandgate as a whole nation has, but like everything else, as I'm seeing everything come out for Overdress, actually has at least an end game board state, or at least some of it. This gives Nirvana a definite end game board state of one of many possibilities for it to end the game. Which is basically, if you don't die to the Jägermeister beatdown, you're dying to the Expectia, Expelliarmus, whatever bullshit critical number, big number.
Peach, what kind of Harry Potter spell did you just say?
I don't
Expectium Patronus.
Yeah,
Okay.
Honestly, right, this card, right, like, I understand the turnoff is that it was all original dress, but if you think, like, let's think about it for a second, guys. If you think, right, about it, if you're facing a deck that retired like Eugene or Prism, right, that gives you more an incentive to use that counterblast 150k in a crit, so then when they take it, they're not taking full value, they're just taking that one card. Because it'll hurt a lot more if he's an Overdress and gets popped than when he's just a dead card on the board and you're just gonna rip it anyway. You know?
No. I think we're missing the big thing. What the hell does Nirvana do as its second effect?
Yeah, it brings back Trickstar.
And guess what grade 1 you use to discard for it? You use Toga Jirisha to discard.
Don't put the Pikachu Jibigashu.
Yeah, bullshit. So basically you're getting more resources for free. And you get your Overdress that you dropped off of your XP, whatever
Honestly,
XP.
Right, so, like Prod said, right, even if you remove all the original dress, right, including your Trickstar, right, this goes to the drop and gets retired. Okay, so your turn.
Like,
stand and draw. I'm gonna set my order card out, right, real quick. I'm gonna use Nirvana's skill to discard a card from my hand. Togachirachi, put that bitch back in the soul. Here comes Trickstar, Overdress Arcs, Overdress Valiente, Overdress into this again. What's up?
Guess what? No, guess what? It helps it against its worst matchup, which is Prison. Just because Prison, you don't get the Prison to Trickstar now, even though it's underneath your original dresses. God, it's not underneath Expedia. It's.
You know, like hearing all those things that Expecta can do, it's kind of making me want to like look at my Nirvana deck again.
Yeah,
and get
honestly,
it ready
like,
for set 3.
Brian, I understand like that last ability of removing all original dress is really, really harsh. But if you really, because like this is the one thing I wish.
I already know. Like that's kind of necessary for such a big power up.
That's the one thing I wish the community would do is that if they see a negative, just change it to a positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that original dress to drop is harsh. But if you change it to a positive, that's a dead card on the board that the opponent has to take now. Prism won't be buying 4, but should be taking 1. If they retire that, honestly, anything that retires expected now, go ahead. It was going to be gone anyway. Thanks for cleaning my board.
Like, even if it doesn't die, guess what you can overdress over it? Valiente. Valiente overdress did shit. Like, it's a dead card. Should you have Valiente at hand? Yup. Is it an 18k Valiente? Yup.
Have it. Have it. I don't care. It's a dead card. Take it. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, so now we have the new card, right? We have so honestly, when I saw Varina into reality, when I saw the new Varina, right, I was like, this art is so fucking good. Oh my god, bro.
It's an amazing finish of the deck as a whole. I love it. It gave you guys an end. One of many.
Man's gonna be like, that one text of ability. Resist.
Exactly. You have everything now for like Nirvana. It's like it's the icing on the. It's so very
like honestly, right? This will make me remove Valiente for this. Like, oh my, it's so beautiful. Oh my god! But we don't know what it does. We just know the name and the art. I think give it.
I thought most decks were already cutting Valiente.
No, some people. So what Valiente does right now in set 2 is that it's on hit pressure that the opponent does not like. Not to mention it's also a body as well.
So honestly, for Valiente, you won't cut it out entirely. I run it as a 2 or 3 of. It's not 4 of anymore. It's like 2 or 3 of. Because you still have to use arcs,
really...
still have to use Urger, you still have you need space. So
you gotta use the original Varina specifically because of the ride chain, but only one of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, right?
I would not run more than one of anymore. Yeah. Because of Urger.
So
Urger is just a strictly better version of Varina.
So in my opinion, right, in my deck, right, this right here, Expecta, I'm kicking it out for Daimari, and I'll find some room for Reds and Wishes. Like my deck's gonna get a complete change. I think you might have to make some cuts.
Ratio, if anything. Like biggest thing that might drop is the Valiente ratio.
Yeah, that Valiente ratio we'll have to
playtest. Arcs ratio might drop as well. That's what I'm thinking. Like Arcs is a good card, but I feel like if you overdo your Arcs, you're decking yourself out as well.
I mean, also, so there's Arcs is a counterblast, and a lot is a counterblast, so...
Everything, so it really comes down to your Arcs and Valiente ratios in the end of the day.
Listen, man, all I want is an Airmo. Can we not have an Airmo, please? Retire this one, please.
Gojo's your Airmo clone.
I want my Airmo. Wait, what does Gojo do again? Forgot.
On hit! Counter charge 1!
Wait,
retire itself.
I didn't see Gojo. I forgot what it did. Let me see this.
When it boosts the Vanguard
attack. Yeah, Gojo is literally just on hit if your Vanguard attacks hit, I think. Or just the attack that hits.
Let me see here. Dragon Monk Gojo, when this unit boosts, when the attack this unit boosted a Vanguard, when the attack this unit boosted a Vanguard hits, retires to counter charge 1.
Yeah.
Would I run this? Probably.
It's protect. It's really just attack. That's the thing. Like, Gojo is just a funny tech that even I run in Eugene. Because Tencha Steed, you just don't give a shit anymore. In Eugene...
Honestly, I think Gojo has a spot in Nirvana because for the sole fact that, you draw a card, this unit gets plus 5k into your turn anytime you overdress. So let's say overdress 1, 2, 3. That's plus 15k to the Vanguard, 28.
I feel 30. You guys might want
to... Numbers.
You guys dropped Tencha Steed already, right? Or do you still play Tencha Steed at 2?
I'm pretty sure we already dropped Tencha Steed.
I think we dropped Tencha Steed, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because you guys dropped it for the new grade 1 that boosts grade 0, right?
I think so,
yeah. You dropped it for the, what's it called, the... the Festival Collection girl as well.
Yeah.
Both
I don't even play her. I don't think I even play her.
The Festival Collection girl was what people played if you couldn't afford the other double R, but I think the price went down by a lot, so...
What do you mean you can't afford the other double R? Wait, you can't afford 5 cents?
It was like $8 a pop, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, wait, what? Oh.
He's at 6
back then...
right now.
Wait, he's at 6 right now?
He's at 6 right now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So...
Hold on, let me see. What's his name again?
Togashirashi, or some name like that.
Oh, okay. Togashirashi.
I mean, Revival Collection for the era when? Anyway, so...
Damn!
You saw the price, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Lightly played at $7? What?
Exactly.
See, it's not even near mint.
That's
Here's the thing. Every Dragon Empire deck plays this because everything discards once. At some point.
So moving on to the next, we talked about Esperalia, Nirvana. Honestly, if you're a Nirvana player, the future looks bright for you. Don't let the people, don't let the haters tell you that Expect is bad. Expect is fucking disgusting.
It's not about it being bad. It's about just stop playing Virina. Honestly, you're a disgusting person. Go to a good deck.
What?
Like Magnolia. Stop playing Virina. Easy as that.
Wow. No one knows this man is. This man's crazy. Anyway, so so let's talk about something that I think we should also talk about. Reverse units.
Yeah.
So we have
reverse, baby.
We have the artwork for the first 6. I think there's more after that. So we have Leading Dual Knights alone. Beautiful, lovely art. Honestly,
only unit that matters is Cecilia. Just saying.
The art is gorgeous on Salome. I love it. The holding the flag, the sword, everything looks great. Then we have Silver Dawn Dragon Queen Lucia Reverse, which we thought we would never get, but look here, we got it. Looks great.
And then we got a more Maelstrom Reverse.
And then we have Maelstrom, my boy, Maelstrom Reverse. We finally have Maelstrom support, guys. It's gonna be great. I love it.
I don't like V Maelstrom.
Because like currently, I don't like the way it plays right now. V Maelstrom, it's really annoying.
Wait, you V Maelstrom? Now you're gonna hit V Himiko now.
Now we have Arm. Honestly, right? That name is fucking disgusting. Armageddon Queen, Himiko reverse. That's nuts. That's nuts. Oh man, Misaki went reverse. Well, then we have probably one of the. Honestly, right? One of us in the call said that this card looks like a Murakumo unit. Brian.
What? I never said that. What?
You said,
honestly,
before the name was revealed for Raging Fall, you said that looked like freaking what's a grade 3 card in Murakumo? I forgot what it's called.
Yaki?
Yeah, you did.
I have never said
I have
that.
screenshots.
No,
I have screenshots.
Good
When did I
sir,
say
this
that?
is slander.
I have screenshots.
If you saw me saying Hiyaki, that's just me saying like I'm excited for when Hiyaki gets revealed. I have never said he looks like Hiyaki. I know how Hiyaki looks like.
Hiyaki reverse. I have screenshots. I will expose you. I will expose you.
Yeah. Show me the screenshots. Show me the screenshot right now.
Let's go.
Show me the screenshot.
Let's go to the Darkon Card Fighters group, right? Can I show it on stream? No one cares. I'm going to watch on stream.
Y'all can settle this in Judge Judy court, all right? Now just chill.
Okay, fine. Moving on.
No. I'm not like I don't appreciate this slander because I know for a fact it does not look like Hiyaki will reverse.
All right. Show me the screenshots.
Because if anything, that looked like a fucking Link Joker unit to me. I thought that was like a Link Joker unit. Then I saw Revenger, and I'm like, oh, that's Shadow Paladin? Like, what?
See, no. Here's the thing. For some reason, I thought it was Hugo reverse.
You know what? Would they get mad if I showed?
That does not look like Hugo.
It's a private server. It's going on stream.
So it's like a Link Joker unit.
It really is.
It's just, honestly, right? If I didn't know, if I was a new player and I was looking up Chaos Breaker and I saw this, I thought this was a Chaos Breaker.
Yeah, but then I saw the name Revenger and I'm like, oh, that's a Shadow Paladin? That does not look like a Shadow Paladin at all.
So now, here's the funny interaction we might get. New Raging Form in V-Clan Collection, right?
Yeah.
Interacted with discard. Now, do we get double the restand power on this bullshit?
Maybe. Then we have Salvation Line and Great Enzo Scissors. And then we have everything is the same except for the PAS VCCs. Except clans do not have the reverse unit. So everything's the same for the PAS V clan collections, except clans that do not have reverse units will have new ones. So, Gear Chronicle.
Yeah.
Maybe reverse Chrono Jet 1, reverse Chronos Command 1, reverse Next Stage 1.
It's gonna be Chrono Jet.
Here's the funny thing they can do: Lost Legend reverse.
Shut your whore mouth. I don't want to see that shit.
Come on. We need that Lost Legend support.
Hell no. Fuck
Yo,
that.
honestly, you are not touching Chrono Jet. You are no way
Chrono
in
Jet
hell.
Reverse when? I play that.
We're not getting Chrono Jet Reverse. I'm sorry.
You are not touching your baby. Listen, if they gave Himiko Reverse, that means they're giving Lost Legend.
Look, bro, every single V clan selection is Chrono Jet support. You can go one clan selection without extra Chrono Jet support, alright?
Every single clan selection is Chrono Jet support.
He's not wrong!
Well, to be honest, right, in Gear Chronicle, what the fuck else you playing? Chrono Fang? You gonna do Chrono Fang reverse? Fucking, we even some.
I would totally go for Chrono Fang reverse. That would be cool.
Even some Chrono Jet decks have play Chrono Fang Rebellion.
Bro, my one big thing is, are you really about to drop Chrono Jet for Chrono Jet Reverse when Chrono Jet is still significantly better?
To be honest, right, one of our friends put up. One of our friends, right, was reading the lore thing, and he put up a good point. It said that something swallowed up Chrono's command and said that was delicious, something like that. So something's happened to Chrono's command. So Chrono's command, I'm all for.
If it's a reverse unit, it has to be a grade 3 Gear Chronicle. I'm sorry, it has to be grade 3, bro.
Bro, no. I got a question for you, right? When was the last time you got a grade 3 in Clan Collection for Gear Chronicle?
That's never. They should.
Anyway,
there's a first time for everything. All right. Also, maybe Grand Elzo Scissors won't be fucking booty this time.
It's honest. Here's the thing.
For once.
Here's how I see this. Grand Elzo Scissors has potential. Looking at all the Elzo support we have, it either make or break it. Honestly,
I see Grand Elzo Scissors fucking checking Chaos Breaker if Chaos Breaker gets too much.
It checks Chaos Breaker for sure. But the problem is, it's another Ezo name for Platina.
So, as we said, right, clans will now have reverse units. We'll have new ones. Can't wait. Reverse units in SP will have reverse frames. If you guys saw the stream, you see it has a nice red frame border.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Dual-sided gift markers make a return with a reverse theme, which will... I'm honestly, right, if they just show the gift marker like cracked and broken in ways, just reverse on it, I'd be happy with that.
Even if it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
And if it has a hollow pattern, which we're never going to get in America, but you know what? Japan's going to get it anyways. You know, that's going to be fun.
Also, I'm gonna make one little prediction. After we get Glundios, I'm gonna guess the next Link Joker like clan selection support will be deleters.
Oskiz.
They're probably gonna do deleters next after.
I expect Oskiz, to be honest. I want Oskiz back.
Oxus would be great, but at the same time... Wait a minute, what if they do Oxus this set?
Honestly, they could do Oskiz next set and put Gladios in this set.
Yeah, because we're already doing Glundios. I'm saying like after Glundios.
Yeah.
No, because we're getting... Also, no, here's the thing. Glendios is... Because we're getting the second set of reverse units in the next clan collection, right? 5 and 6.
Uh-huh.
So they might delay Glendios until then, just because they might want to figure out the kinks in Glendios, so they can give us Oxus support this turn.
Okay, so if you're gonna put they'll put Glendios. Oh, you're saying to give Oskiz now and Glendios later.
Yeah, because we're getting more reverse units later on. So that means they're either they're still trying to figure out Glendios if they're delaying reverse units up until the next like clan collections from 5 and 6. And then we're just getting some random deleter support, Oxus.
No. I mean, the thing is that they're not delaying reverse units. They're saying we're going to have more reverse units. So you're saying that when we have more reverse units, we'll get Glendios.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if we if this is all the reverse units we're getting, which is what Himiko, Lukier,
we're getting Maelstrom,
and even
Raging
Fall?
Lukier.
Like here's the thing. Right now, we only have 4 reverse units. If we're gonna release Glendios now, you're gonna have to work with 4 of those reverse units. And if you're Glendios and you're locked to 1 reverse unit per thing, you know how Glendios played, which was how many reverse units per Glendios deck?
So currently, I mean, we have to think about it, right? What decks don't have reverse units? Like Gold Paladin doesn't have a reverse unit.
Right now, what's being released for Royals is going to be Salome, and I don't think they're going to give them another grade 3, which is Ashley.
It's going to be Salome, and then 5 and 6, I suspect it's going to be Ashley reverse.
Ashley reverse. That's exactly the thing. So that's why I feel like they're either delaying that just to get at least things up in support.
All right, David.
Yeah. It's just either they're figuring out the kinks for Glendios right now, just because they're delaying more reverse units. Because I feel like Glendios is gonna have to play 1 of each reverse unit. It's gonna be that might be its restriction.
Okay.
So with that many reverse, with how many clans do we have currently in the format or in general, minus the token Rambo bullshit and everything else. Minus fucking bang.
So that was basically the product stream in a nutshell. I'm sorry guys. I've been gone again. I've been gone for a month, so I wasn't able to do everything I wanted to do. So now that we've gone over the K2 Mori letter, we've gone over the product stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go over the current situation in our vendor community.
Oh my god! Here's the thing.
Oh, fuck.
I've had this conversation with actual Bruce players and locals, even today, and they say it fixes consistency.
So let's go. So before we get to the Bruce,
before we get to the bullshit that is the Vanguard community's undying, wavering thing of God damn it, it's the end of the world and apocalypse mode. Let's go over the other things beforehand.
So before that, right, we're gonna go over the blog post from different fight. I don't know. I know a different fight. I'm trying to remember what the name was. Who posted?
It's different fight. No, the funny thing is even Solomon had to make it.
Hold on. Let me look it up. One second. Go to YouTube.
I'm just gonna say, Solomon had to make a video to tell y'all to calm down. Jesus Christ, help us, Lord.
Different fight. It was so we're gonna look at the. I hate these fucking mobile game ads. I actually want to die. So
Welcome to cheap ass, anything.
So the first one we'll look at is from Mealdai, and the next one is from Ringo. So I think. Let me see. No, stop. Is it this the meal type one? Yes, this is the meal type one. So 915 significant addition, human being who has involved in content production of Vanguard, few of these series by one user. So this is Internet Explorer's English translation because it's all in Japanese, so bear with us. Go introduction. It wasn't that I needed to hide it in particular, but I didn't have a chance to talk about simply. But I was working as a V Series game designer advisor when I switched from V to D. I was in with V Series just a little while ago in the current environment. So it was you that printed out all those. No, I'm kidding. I am currently working as a development team for another TCG, so I'm working with VG as one user and an adventure. But this time as a person who was involved in content production and as user, I wrote this article as a statement of my feelings because I felt strong concern from the current D series.
I'm sorry. So wait, he's making a new card game?
No. He was, according to him, right? He was a game designer advisor for V era when they switched to D era, and then he still has a hand in the development of the game as a whole.
So
he's working for a different TCG. I don't think he's working on his own TCG
as well. Yeah.
Here's my one thing comment to that. Thank fucking Christ you're gone, you piece of shit.
No, stop. We're not No, chill out. Because he said he was working as a V Series game designer. You know that there wasn't just one designer. There were multiple designers in this game. So it wasn't just him. We can't like connect it to the dots like, oh, you were his game designer, so it means that you're the one who put all these broken cards. No, we can't do that because it was more than one person.
It's one of the hands that brought us Castile.
It was more than one person. We're not going to assign all blame onto him, because I'm pretty sure his hand in it isn't as big as we think because he was just an advisor. Anyway, so D series Hera, I don't know what that is on the rise. Was this Hera Bote? What is that?
Or just some translation thing.
Honestly,
I'm just gonna guess it's called Hate. V Series Hate is on the rise. When the D Series was first released, I think many users had high hopes for the elements such as nation integration, stories away from Aichi world line, and augmented worldview stories. For users who know the current trends, such as Chairman, I think he's a former chairman, compared to current chairman, Gadani's, sorry if I can't pronounce these names, I'm trying my best. Statement that he does not want to fall off the stun anymore. Again, Internet Explorer translation. And the new producers remarked that it's making it with inflation as low as possible. It would have seemed that a big change is finally coming for users, the flow that Vanguard has followed. From the creator's point of view, the base of the new series is very attractive. And as a creator, it is easy to make attractive cards with easy environmental control, so I thought the new series would be a success. Hold on, maybe I can read it off my phone. Can I read it off my phone? I think it's better off my phone.
Sorry. Is he about to say that D series was a failure? Is my thing.
Hold on, I'm seeing if I can read it off my phone. No, I cannot. It's even worse. The first discomfort is performance. What's up?
At this point, just keep reading off wherever.
The first discomfort is the performance of one booster Bastion. There are often situations where there's only one specific deck in a card game but this deck is a little different. At the time of the first bullet, the specifications of the level that could win the V standard top deck Luard, which users think I was forced to fall stain as a result of inflation against inflation. Although it was okay. But if I went wild for about 6 months, I would be balanced by receiving some kind of regulation. I was optimistic at this stage. So I think what he was trying to say here in Internet Explorer's thing was that since Bastion went insane for 6 months after set 1, it would need some regulation. I don't really agree with that because it was set fucking 1. It's set 1. There's going to be a best deck out of set 1.
Here's the thing. Set 1... I'm going to be quite honest with you, was very, very well designed, where everything can actually have a chance to win. if we look back into other formats, right? V Series Set 1, what was dominating during that Set 1 release of V Series? Like,
OTT.
exactly. And what did you see locals every single damn day at V Series locals?
OTT was practically tier 0 until Set 2.
Exactly. So, we don't have that, honestly. Like, sure, we have Bruce and Bastion being the best decks. Are they at the same level where OTT was dominant that everyone was playing OTT? Or at least maybe over to counter
to answer that question, right?
Like,
OTT was dominant by itself, even after Set 2. Now, it wasn't as prominent before Set 2, but even after Set 2, OTT was still pretty disgusting.
It's still there. Like, it was there. But Set 1, it was everywhere. Like, Set 1, if you're not playing OTT, you're not winning a local. Or if you're not playing something that can go toe-to-toe to it, which was basically, at that point in time, was Kaguro, like, you would have to play the perfect game against that deck.
Yeah. So, for this, right, I'd say this is not the exact same, because even with Bastion, Bruce could beat it. If you try hard enough, if your deck would agree with you, Nirvana could beat it. Or if it's still there. Even Hexa Orb could check it if it like there was. And the thing is that the difference between V era and D era is that V era had 4 main decks, D era had like 10.
Yeah.
So the thing is that he's comparing like Luard's issue to Bastion. No, because Luard is like from Set like 12, I think, or something like that.
Luard, like, here's the thing. Luard's design was very, very, like, it was alright up until, like, it became a turn 4 deck just like how Bruce and Bastion are right now. But the problem is, they made a card that was specifically for one archetype, but then everyone just jumped off and used it into a different one.
It's not necessarily the problem of one card being from one archetype being used in another. It's just that it was from one archetype, but it was used even better in another archetype to the point where it was like practically an auto win.
It honestly gave it such an advantage at that point, at that stage of the game, where it can honestly just kill turn 2. It did not give a shit.
So, in this next paragraph, he's like, it is Leonard of Darkseid that was recorded in the Booster Set 2 bullets released in that way. So, again, Internet Explorer, I'm going to summarize this into saying that, okay, first card has been called push up to same class. And from around here, decent game balance was beginning to be a serious problem for months. So, he's saying that the game balance became a major issue after Set 2. Yes and no.
No.
What's up?
Like, in my opinion, Set 2, again, like, how Bushiroad is doing it right now, each set is progressively, like, fixing one nation or one deck archetype's, like, issue. It's slowly fixing it. Like, it's a slow process, yes, but it's, like, they're slowly fixing it gradually and seeing how things interact and how the player base interacts with each new thing. Like, they're actually not fixing it all in one go. Like, how, like, Magnoia's issue, they're interacting with it one at a time. Like, it's not taking, like, oh, Bruce just needs something new in a nutshell. Blah. Like, Leonard was a big, like, here's the thing. Leonard, Set 2, gave Bruce a new piece to where, okay, I can go toe-to-toe with Bastion now. But now I have to draw into the thing.
So I think the main, because I'm not going to read it, because I don't want to read over Internet Explorer's translation of Japanese. So I think the main thing we can take away from this blog post from Miltai is that Bastion was an issue in Set 1. Now Bruce is an issue in Set 2, and the main also the reveal of critical triggers in Set 3. So now you can run 12 crit in the deck was also a big red flag, and the guard value of the game was too low. So yeah. All these concerns, I agree with that Bastion was a main issue in Set 1, but I don't agree with the fact that we should have started hitting things after Set 1, because we still had Set 2 and 3 to go over. Now, I do agree with that Leonard was a bit of an issue in Set 2, because it now shot Bruce up to the point where, okay, I'm now playing a Set 4 deck against like Set 2 decks, which is kind of annoying. But what I don't agree with is that they should have hit Bastion when it came out after it being out for 6 months. No. I don't agree with that at all, because it's all, we didn't know what Set 2 had until we got it. So it was just Set 1. So thinking of it that early would have done nothing.
Like, here's my take on Bastion right now. Like, Bastion is one of the most. I'll say it. It's pretty brain dead. Your deck is consistent of 26 stand triggers. That's 26 grade 3s. You have a twin drive that hopes to God hits 26 and one of 26 stand triggers and 16 like regular triggers. Now, Bastion's issue is basically shield value, right? So honestly, what good can a Bastion hand do? Like Alden fixed, okay, it gave you a hand, but how quality is that hand for Bastion? All of it is either grade 3s, a PG, or maybe a trigger, which you could have drove check at all. And even if you guard with a trigger, to me as a player, that's confirming a trigger is out of your deck, and that means I can physically and kind of calculate how often you're going to get a trigger and how little I need to guard against your attack, unless it's a Persona right turn.
Yeah. So,
also,
go ahead, Ryan.
So for me, it's not necessarily the fact that Bastion and Bruce are the best decks. There's always going to be a best deck, and
Exactly.
if you're a best deck, like from set 1, you're probably going to stay that way for a while.
Exactly.
Until like all the other decks get a more fleshed out engine. Like decks like Zorga, just by design, have so many moving parts that they're going to need a few sets of like engine pieces to actually
Right.
be able to have power cards printed. Like Zorga has a few power cards, but like the deck absolutely needs to focus on consistency and the resource loop
Yeah.
before they start focusing on that power. Whereas decks that already have or don't even necessarily rely on consistency, because decks like Prison, they can start printing more power cards and stuff like that because the deck already has their own built-in consistency in their ride deck. Everything else just kind of complements the Prison mechanic. Like that mechanic in itself doesn't necessarily need a whole engine to run around it. Whereas Zorga, it's like you need your orders in drop zone. You need a way to always have an order in your hand. You need to make sure you don't like overload your hand with orders. You need to find units in your drop zone. Like there's so many moving parts. You kind of need a whole engine built around Zorga. So just by design, like that's why I'm not expecting Zorga to be crazy for a while.
Like
he has a bunch of potential, but it's gonna be a while.
Yeah. So in the argument with Zorga, even right now, Set 2 Zorga has the potential it is. Like, in the hands of a good pilot, like, each of these nations, in the hands of a really good pilot, can really, really break, or at least make the deck look as amazing as it can. Like, Zorga right now has the power, it loses the resources. It really just loses steam in the late to mid to late game. It really just loses the steam.
When it really shouldn't. Just the design of the deck, it shouldn't really lose mid to late game, and it's an extremely grindy and defensive deck.
Exactly.
But if you do have all the gas in the world, but because your gas is all orders, if you have all that gas, that just means you have no defense. And for a defensive deck, it's like that's kind of a death sentence.
Like it just dies to no shield value. But
however,
the deck really had was Regurgitation from the Underworld, which allowed for some kind of board control, and allowed it for getting more resources from drop zone, and Fleet Swallower. Like Fleet Swallower really kind of gave it not really much of a power boost, at least much more of a funny tech where you're dropping, like you're getting a guard restrict off too. Like you're making them drop 2 cards regardless.
Yeah, see, like with the new Triple R, the fact that Zorga finally got a Foolish Burial, I'm really happy about that. Should have been in set 1 or set 2. Alright, don't at me on that. Should have been in set 1 or set 2. Because just due to how the deck works, like making Zorga rely on random milling off the top was kind of stupid when it's not even close to Grand Blue.
Like, yeah. I feel like this is what I feel like the D-Series design team is doing. Like, it's gradually, like I said, from set 1 to set 3 right now, they're gradually learning how each deck is going to operate and taking their time and seeing, like, how can we fix one issue at a time with each deck. Yeah, and then see where everything comes out. Like, even right now, like, you're seeing, okay, Zorga needs to not mill randomly. Okay, cool. We'll see what we can design that can fix it to where, you don't have to mill out randomly and have something that should have been in set 1, but we haven't really tested it out and seen it in action. Like,
See, one thing I would have really liked is if it didn't have that unnecessary condition of being called from hand. Like, if you just had it be like call from rearguard circle at all, it really didn't need that from hand restriction because it wouldn't have broken the card. It would just make the deck a little bit faster. It would have helped Zorga a ton because it would definitely speed him up. I don't understand why they had to make it from hand. I like how we went
from issues with the top decks to Zorga.
Yeah, but okay, but I'm gonna go back to my this is gonna kind of go on to my point. But so they make decks like that where they need a lot of time to really kind of like flesh out their game plan just by design.
Yeah.
But then there's decks like Bruce and Bastion. At least with Bastion, they're kind of slowing down his support because like they gave him one good card in set 2. I mean, granted, it's a fucking ridiculous card.
I mean,
triple drive,
right? In set 2, they gave them Repharos in the new Dragon thing, which makes, honestly, right, it's kind of torn between the two of you not running the new stuff, running the old stuff, because the old stuff does just fine. And then, the thing is, what makes it so weird to me is that we have a camp in Bash, and it's like, the old stuff is so good, you don't need the new stuff, which is a really big problem. And then we have a camp, this camp is saying, oh, the old stuff is fine, but the new stuff is worth running. So when you printed out cards, and that's the issue that I found in set 1, I was like, okay, this is getting too much. When you're printing out cards like Fasado, like Alden, like fucking, what's another card in set 1 that was printed that was really broken? I think it's just those two. But when you print out such good cards in set 1, to the point where running set 2 cards don't even matter, that's an issue, monetary-wise.
I feel like Bastion's kind of suffering from Shirayuki-itis. He was released at least a lot of his support was released way ahead of his time.
Exactly.
The dude literally got 4 sets worth of support in a single set.
Yeah. So, in this set, right, all they got was, okay, and then in set 2, right, they got the Repharos and the Dragon, which, honestly, I argue that the Repharos and Dragon is a bit better than the set 1 support.
So here's the thing. What set 2 gave, Bastion was obviously the order card, which gave a triple drive.
And a draw.
Yeah, and a draw. Or the draw, triple drive, and whatnot.
And the power.
Yeah, and the power. But it also, I feel like it split kind of the Bastion community. Because, here's the thing. With how set 2 kind of is right now, I've seen so many different variants of Bastion. Some people opt to play the Dragon. Some people opt to play Repharos. Sometimes you got the crazy bullshit things, which is, what is it? They run the grade, I've seen one Bastion player who runs the grade 1 that's Soul Blast, replace it with a grade 3 from Damage Zone that's face up, just because they hate the Bruce matchup. You even see Control Bastion having some kind of relevance as well. Bastion has really branched out to different parts of itself. It's not as singular as it was back in set 1, but people are getting their feet wet into different builds of Bastion. So you can build.
And the fact that the deck has that much flexibility already this early, when other decks are just trying to get their engines stabilized.
That's what I was going to touch on. Was that the support that Bastion and Bruce are getting? I'd argue, right, that it's not that the support is broken. It's just that the support that everyone else is getting isn't as good. To be honest, right? Yeah, the support.
Yeah, I still need to.
The support that's one second. The support that Nirvana and Zorga and Magnolia and let me not even talk about those two. The support that Barrel Magnus and Eugene are getting. Eugene got some good shit in set 3, which comes out in December. But even in itself, right, you have to be the most Galaxy 1,000,000% IQ player when playing Eugene to even scratch Bastion. That's
the thing is, Eugene still has that counterplay of, oh, I just don't call anything for you to retire. Exactly. Oh, what are you going to do now? Whereas Bruce gets a unit that has the same effect, but doesn't require you to retire anything. And if you do retire something, it retires more than one.
Time out. So we've gone over Mealtie's blog post, which is basically Bastion was a major issue, should have been hit. I don't agree with that. Bruce became one of the top decks. That's fair. The critical triggers was a major mistake. That's fair. And the anime and whatnot. So we're gonna move on, right?
Oh, hold on. I gotta finish my point though.
What's
Okay.
up?
So
But,
a clan kind of thing with the nation and how everyone's trying to catch up.
Yeah. But yeah. So my main problem is like it's not even necessarily a problem that we have the same best decks. It's just that the gap in power is so absurd throughout multiple sets. It's like all these decks are just trying to like build up their engine. They're trying to catch up. They're trying to actually, you know, have the consistency to really do anything just due to how their decks work. Whereas
Exactly.
decks like Bastion and Bruce that already have that strong foundation just by being mindless multi-attack decks, it's kind of lame saying like all these cool decks and the two best decks are fucking multi-attack decks.
Like honestly, yeah.
But yeah, it's literally just two V decks. Like what? But
Yeah.
So like,
but
that's what I was
hold on,
trying to
hold on. But it's just while they're all catching up, these two decks that already have that foundation built, instead of printing maybe cards that make them a little bit more consistent, maybe adds a couple more options, slight options.
Like
They're printing bombs. They're printing bombs for Bruce. That's the problem.
Yo,
It's
so
not that he's
here-
getting
here's
support.
my-
It's that
here's-
they're printing bombs.
Okay, here's
Like-
my prediction right for this, right? I think Bushiroad's plan. So let's give it. So let's say right. Hold on. Let's say every deck's like a house, right? I think Bushiroad's plan is okay. We're gonna take decks like Bruce and Bastion, and we're gonna make the house really quickly because everyone else is still like having foundation, right? So Bruce and Bastion has their houses already built, right? But all these other decks like Zorga, Nirvana, Orphist, Prison, fucking Hexaorb, all these other decks, right? We're not putting foundation to build a house. No. We're putting foundation to build a mansion. So when the mansion's finally built, like in set 4 or 5, right? These decks would smoke the houses. Now, it won't be as bad. No. But they'll still outright, like, move past the
Bro,
decks.
unless
just built the houses
Zorga gets
immediately.
like 2 extra attacks from a new order, he's probably still not gonna beat Bruce, bro.
it's not.
He'd need some absolutely
I'm not saying,
bonkers
no,
crazy.
I'm saying
support.
this as in like Nirvana, right? We can agree that Nirvana has already put the foundation for their mansion, right? Fucking Zorga and Magnolia and Orphans had their foundations done, but I mean I can agree that like Beryl Magnus and Eugene haven't even mixed the cement yet.
Like, the thing is, unless you like just completely cease support for Bastion and Bruce for a while, like for maybe 1 or 2 sets, like even if everyone gets their engines fully like fleshed out and everything, if those 2 decks are gonna constantly be getting support, they're still gonna keep up that gap while decks are like they finally become workable decks and they're starting to get that power. But unless they get like power creep galore, like bomb after bomb after bomb every single set to catch up to Bruce and Bastion, those 2 decks are still just gonna be dominant because if they keep getting more support, that just means they're gonna get even stronger than they already are, and that's probably just gonna maintain that gap between them and everyone else.
Like, here's the thing with Bruce and Bastion. Just because I feel like, here's the thing, we're never going to be able to satisfy the whole community. Let's be honest. Like, people, like, they are the 2 poster boys. Let's be honest. They are the poster boys of this whole damn series. 2 main characters and everything. Like, I feel like if they're going to just build the house now for them, it's better so it satisfies the rest of the community that's like, oh, where's my Bruce and Bastion support? Look at the first 3 sets. Now shut the fuck up. Now calm your fucking tits. Now let's support the rest of the other shit now. Y'all have your time in the sunlight. Like, here's the thing. Like, Zorga, like, decks like Zorga right now can, if played correctly, like I said, you have GDR, you have the numbers. You just don't really have the resources to pump out everything as of now. Like, it has the potential. Prison, they're tiptoeing around the deck. It's honestly make or break of the deck. It's you're on a CBD time clock. Magnolia, Magnolia out of the 3, like out of all the decks in D series, right? Like they showcased the damn thing. It looked like a deck that can actually multi-attack more than Bastion and Bruce. In reality, it really didn't, because you know what? Both Bastion and Bruce had fucking power, and that's all it had. Like Magnolia is just puny Excel clan, and then
Oh no, Magnolia checks a damage trigger.
exactly. You just die. It's basically OG Aqua Force.
Yeah,
Damage check.
Magnolia check damage trigger. Oh, big sad. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say is that right now Bruce and Bastion have their houses built, but
Yeah, just
I see the other decks like they're putting some foundations in to build like mansions out of them. So like eventually, right, Bruce and Bastion won't even be. I mean, I feel like they're doing it right now because in set 3, for Bastion, right, we haven't seen anything too special.
It's kind of.
But then they released this. So what made the community freaking lose their minds, right, was that they were first. We had a bit of a discussion about Bruce and Bastion, right, and how Bruce is just ridiculous. As we were having that discussion, as people were arguing, they released Diabolo's returner Derek.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's a grade 2, right? For Bruce, triple R, even though I should have gone to Barrel Max, but whatever. Continuous rear guard if you're in Final Rush was 5k. It's a 15k at all times if you're in Final Rush.
Hold on.
Rear guard once return cost. Counterblast will put 1 rear guard into Soul. Choose one of the opponent's rear guards for every 4 cards in Soul and retire it. Then, if you are in Final Rush, look at cards on top of your deck equal to the opponent's open rear guards. Choose any number of units from among them. Call it an open rear guard. Put the rest into Soul. Just a better Eugene.
Hey, let me just break down just how much better of a card this card is compared to Eugene, who's supposed to be the boss unit of his deck, right? Number 1, his cost. Counterblast won't put a unit rear guard into Soul. Practically free. It's practically free, minus the CB1. It's just a CB1. Not like Eugene retires 1 rear guard. This guy can retire multiple rear guards.
For every 4.
Yeah. Number 3. He doesn't need to retire rear guards in order to call from the top of the deck. Number 4. The cards you put into Soul are actually a plus to your Soul. Whereas with Eugene, you have to Soul Blast 5, and anything in your Soul just slightly refunds that. And they're generally going to be triggers, which you're not going to feel good about. You're usually going to Soul Charge 4 triggers with Eugene.
Alright.
I love how they just copy and pasted that second effect from the last few sentences of Eugene.
They copy and pasted it on a much better cost.
Okay, so how I see this card, and which I've come to agree with all the rest of my community. The card is a consistency issue. It fixes Bruce. However, it still decks you out.
So here's my argument to the consistency issue for this card, right? I see it as a consistency buff. Here's why. The fact
That's what I'm saying.
Time out. The fact that you can counterblast 1 and put this into the Soul, put 1 regard into the Soul, which you're probably gonna pick this if you want to, right? If your hand is absolute crap, right, and your opponent just didn't. So here's the thing, right? This thing, right, punishes you for fighting against Leonard because your usual tactic against Leonard was just not call anything. I'm gonna call anything, or I'm just gonna counterblast, put it into the Soul, look at top 5, get a board for nothing. That retiring thing,
yeah.
that retiring cost, I couldn't give 2 fucks about. It's the fact that you can go to the top cards of the deck, and then call out anything that you want from the top 5. So if your hand is trash, refresh, have fun. That's ridiculous. That in itself is ridiculous.
Okay, here's my with the card. Here's my one issue with the card, right? What does Bruce need to kill you on 1 turn? Be in Final Rush, Persona Ride, or Helldive Full Blast. Like one of those 2. Not to mention Marjorie, Leonard. Okay, cool. You can do the Leonard counterplay. You can shove the Derek in Soul. What's on the top? Like, you're still rolling for top 5. Like, your top 5 has to be a roll regardless.
Bro,
Wait, hold on. He doesn't even have to put another rear guard into Soul. He can just put himself.
Yeah, he just
put himself.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No. Here, Pro. You just have to understand, right? You just have to understand. Even with the fact that top 5 could be all whiff, you can still call things from that top 5. You're not calling from hand. It's a superior call. That's what makes it ridiculous.
There's up to a Soul Charge 5.
Soul Charge 5. Literally, okay, here's the thing. let's count the cards your deck your that are out of deck, right? You Persona Ride or do Helltide Full Blast. If you do both, that's 2 cards out of deck beforehand. That you're trying to end the turn, right? You're looking for either Marjorie or Leonard, because Marjorie Leonard at the end of the day is still the column you want to end on, just because you're guaranteeing 2 hits on that Vanguard, especially after set 2. Marjorie is a Soul Charge and a draw, 4 cards out of deck at that point. With anything else, if you do Derek, that's gonna be what on an empty board, 9 cards out of deck. On a Twin Drive, that's 2 cards out of deck from more Bruce. So 11 cards theoretically are out of deck. So you are a ticking time bomb, and you hope to God you kill him this turn. And people
playing Bruce, you're absolutely killing them.
Here's the problem. It's 11 cards out of deck, but if you have to think beyond that, right? If you're playing Bruce, right, and that in itself is 11 cards out of deck, that's 4 or 5 of those 11 cards go to your board. Your board isn't going anywhere. It's not 11 cards continuously every single turn. It's 11 cards once, and that's it. What makes this card so ridiculous is that you're not touching your hand. That's what makes it dumb. You're not doing anything with your hand. You just call it from the deck. That's it.
But at the same time, here's the thing. It's still a piece-reliant deck, in my opinion. Like, you still need the Leonard. You still need the Marjorie. This fixes the consistency issue in getting one of them out of there. But, like, if you don't see one of both pieces, or maybe even Proto Ball, or the Dober, like, there's so many pieces.
You want something funny? You do not. If your opponent has no rear guards, why are you calling Leonard? Why?
Like,
if your opponent has 0 rear guards, why is Leonard on your board? If anything, it should be Eden or something else. It should not be Leonard.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're going to cut Derek off for what? Eden as well. And if you want to tech in Eden, it's going to be a 2-over at most at this point. Like, people are going to run 4 of this Derek just because they see, oh god, I can build a board for free, and yet forget about Eden. Not to mention, if you can get one of your 2 of Edens, then you're winning. Like, Eden is still a kill card in my opinion. But this is literally just...
Is that right? Your board is going to consist of Marjorie, it's going to consist of Eden, it's going to consist of Proto Ball, and maybe a couple of triggers if you're that unlucky. Like, to be honest, that top 5 can fill your board like that for no reason. Or if you don't want it, just put it in the Soul.
It can, but still, what you still need is a Persona Ride or Helldive Full Blast. Those 2 cards in itself effectively give you a kill. Like,
but
the 10k off the Persona...
That's not what I'm talking... Probably that's not what I'm talking... I'm not talking about...
It makes it even more... It makes it even better. Marjorie without Persona Ride is what? 23k? That's a 15k 1-guard shield. Anything afterwards, even like, was it a 15k Eden? Cool. Guarded by intercepting. Like, Bruce without Persona Ride and Helldive Full Blast goes the same way with Bastion. Without anything Persona Ride, without that extra 10k, it really misses the mark of getting over to kill. Like, with Dober, it can potentially kill without Persona Ride. Like, you're missing the chance. Like, if you're not Persona Road or Helldive Full Blast that turn, I feel like you cannot effectively kill, nor do you have the numbers to actually like hit over. You have multiple attacks. Fine,
you need to understand. Even if you're not killing on that turn, this card in itself gives you enough defense to survive the next turn. Usually, when you're playing Bruce, you have the one weakness.
Marjorie is what.
Wait, time out. The one weakness I see between Bruce and Bastion, the same thing, is that both of them could not superior call without weapon from hand. Bastion still can't do it. This just gave it that superior call. That weakness is out the window. So now there's physically no other weakness to Bruce unless you usher Bruce a die roll. That's what makes it ridiculous.
Here's the thing. Okay, cool. Bruce still has whatever. Okay, cool. Like, here's the thing with Bruce. It's still piece reliant. Like, against a Bastion board, right? Bastion has 26 grade 3s. You drop any of the 26 grade 3s. This relies so heavily on pieces like Marjorie to survive. If you're not seeing Marjorie, you're fucking effectively dead. You don't have a hand. Proto Bulb, okay, maybe can respectively get you some shield value from whatever you soul charge off the Derek and everything else. Like, you're still rolling for that Marjorie at least just to get a hand as well.
Prod.
Like, you're rolling so much. If you don't have a Ride or Helldive, I feel like you can't effectively kill. It's small numbers on a Bruce column unless you hit triggers.
Even if you don't have a Marjorie on board, the fact that this thing can even call you a board for no reason is disgusting. The fact that this thing can even get you cards on board without using cards from your hand is disgusting. Getting Marjorie out isn't even the objective. It's the fact that you get a board off it for no reason.
So, with the whole being peace reliant thing, by the time you get to Final Rush, if you use Derek, I feel like you're probably gonna at least find Marjorie and to add to your hand, right?
No, it's not immediately called. It's immediately called off of this.
I know. Like just prior to using Derek, you're gonna at least try to find one in your hand. And by the time you're at Final Rush and then you use this, the chances are extremely high that you'll find a Marjorie off the top of your deck, or you're gonna have one in hand.
Like, it's still just, to me, the card is still such a role where even if you do have it in hand, it's just like, how much power did the other person kind of like push you? Because I feel like even then, what Bruce players face, especially against big columns, especially with Bastion, like, big numbers from Bastion are still scary, to where you either have to PG something and drop either Helldive, Persona Ride, or Marjorie at that point in time. Or even drop maybe even a 5k shield or something like that. Or Intercept. Because Bastion's power is still, even without a Persona Ride, can still be scary. Especially with Alden being a card.
No, he's in the right. Like, you're saying that the roll is what makes it you have to roll and hope the top 5 is good. No, what I'm trying to say is the fact that they even get the chance to roll is disgusting. That's what I'm trying to say. The fact that Bruce gets even a chance to get the dice to roll something is ridiculous. Even if it's just a call of 2 from the top of the deck, that's still a +2 off their hand. Worst case scenario, it's a top 4 call 4. That's a +4 off their hand they don't have to use. That's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's fucking dumb. It's ridiculous. The fact that the deck even gives you that's ridiculous. For a counterblast of 1. Just counterblast of 1, who cares?
Like, it still requires, to me, like, it still just needs a Persona Red or Helldive. It's just, without anything else, and the comms being that small, 13, 21, 15k on this whatever column you have, or 23 on the Marjorie, 31, unless you have Dober, none of those comms really scare you too often on a non-Persona Ride turn or non-Helldive.
Yeah, fine. Say you don't get the Persona Ride and you don't get the Hellboss, you don't get the Hellboss full dive, right? That's not where my point lies. The fact that you don't get, even if without Derek, right? The fact that you don't get those in general is already a minus off of you. What makes me upset about Derek in general is that they have the chance to fill a board for no reason. I don't care if you don't have full dive. I don't care if you don't have a Persona Ride. The fact that you get a board off for a CB1, you don't have to use your hand, is the same thing I expect fucking, I don't know, fucking Eugene to get, or Bill Maddox to get, or fucking, hell, even Hex Orb to get. Not Bruce. Bruce doesn't need this. Bruce does not need this. This is ridiculous. Now comes to the point, if you win die roll, okay, cool, you kill Bruce, congratulations. If you lose die roll, scoop your deck. Scoop. Because now they have this and 12 crits. Have fun.
12 crits, you mean 11. Unless you want to target over trigger. Because, again, people are not going to run 12 crits unless they want to put down heal triggers. Which is just, okay, cool, you can run the 4th, what's it called, over trigger as your 4th heal.
Sake, man. Let me not even explain to you the fact that even if you call let's say you look at top 5 and you see the fucking new crits out, you can just call them, put them in the soul, get power. Like, oh my god.
The power from it is really insignificant in my opinion. Like, it's really, what is it, 2k? How much power do you get from the new crits? 2k?
Oh, what?
The new crits. Like, you put
you get 2k from them. You get a soul really just plus 2k.
It's really just insignificant at that point. Like, the 2k really, if we're talking about 5k, then maybe. Like, 2k, like, in the crits is just really, really insignificant power. Like, not like, if you're telling me you're going from, what is it, 23k to 25k, it's still guardable by 15. If it's going, unless it's 35k, like anything, like even the 2k power boost doesn't really matter. It's like, it's like a 15k guard and a 23k base. Like,
So,
Also, the fact that Derek also fuels Pandemonium tactics is just fucking
It fuels it, but here's the thing: what are you really gonna true and blue cut for Pandemonium tactics?
a
so
what?
Like,
you got hold on real quick. You guys can still
like,
talk. I gotta do something real quick.
like,
We'll be an intermission, but y'all can still chat about it.
yeah,
Mhm.
but like in all honesty, like Pandemonium tactics, okay, I can see it being a tech, but out of all of Bruce's cards, that's just gonna be another dead card that has no shield value, to where big numbers still kill Bruce. Like significantly, what kills Bruce right now, and surprisingly enough, is still Bastion, just because of how big Bastion's columns are.
Yeah, but then
Like,
again, keep in mind that's still just Bastion. Bastion's
that's the
still the
thing.
second best deck in the format,
Like,
but
exactly,
literally everything else just gets absolutely curb stomped by
exactly.
those
But
two decks.
like even now, like I play what is it, Prison currently against Bruce. It's a matchup that really you have to know pieces. Like Bruce in its all entirety can definitely lose to anything that can control. Basically, if you can really hit the key pieces, that means you really like if you're playing anything that's control, PBD, which is I know it's a joke, but it still has retire power, which really is just okay, I retire the Leonard, I retire Marjorie. It really just like you're hoping to God off the Derek you at least get maybe Marjorie or maybe something of value out of that. Like it's really like the card fixes the consistency issue of like okay I'm gonna dig more like for the deck, but it's just like what Bruce lacks is most is also gonna be shielded as well because like decks that can hit big numbers or at least push it to a point where they're being controlled and they really can't respond to anything just hurts them as well. Like the CB1 kind of helps as well, balancing it out because the opponent can simply just leave you at face down damage after using what requires a CB. Helldive Full Blast requires a CB. Derek will require a CB. Protobulb, like you as the Bruce player has to manage like everything perfectly. Not to mention Bruce doesn't have a counter charger unless you're playing Selfish Engraver, which my god, what the hell is wrong with you? Like honestly, like Bruce does not physically have the space nor any physical means to countercharge right now. And if you can somehow keep him at face down damage for like at least 1 or 2 turns and then just hit the key pieces slowly and surely, you have the keys to victory there. Like Bruce will still like sure you still have Derek, but like at that stage of the game, how much depth do you have left to do like and gas left do you have to kind of do a Derek? Like, is the Derek gonna get you one step closer to decking out? Like, even now, if you see some of the Bruce player deck lists, you see some people even run jaw triggers right now, just because they have an issue of not seeing pieces. Like, Marjorie helps, but it's just like the draw isn't gonna guarantee it. Helldive Full Blast helps, the Persona Ride helps just because they both draw. It's just that it still needs to end on that board of Leonard or Marjorie or even just anything Marjorie with anything that's a pressure card where the opponent has no option of taking that or can't even take it. Like what Set 2 effectively did for Bruce is give the Bruce players again, like I said, 2 guarantee hits. Just because Marjorie, you don't give a fuck if it hits you. You care solely and you're hyper focused on that Leonard. And even after the final rush restands, you barely have enough shield to even survive that turn just because Marjorie's a perfectly 33, 43k number or even bigger by the end of that turn. So it's like how it's set up is that Leonard just complements Marjorie just to guarantee the hit in this stage of the game, where it really just hurts. Not to mention just like how most Bruce players are playing it right now is just they're trying to get to that 5 soul. This fixes the 5 soul issue for them to go into Final Rush, but now they're conflicted into an issue where, okay, what do I value more, the rear guard or the soul, to get to the Final Rush, or at least to use the Final Rush skill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's kind of a like double-edged sword where how much do I value the soul to at least guarantee myself Final Rush, and how much do I like dedicate myself into actually going into getting a board.
Also, so what's generally like the whole combo with Marjorie plus Leonard, like what they do? because I haven't played D for very often. I just know that it's
honestly,
oversupported.
The bigger brain play would be to go furthermore with the attacks, but the problem is like what Bruce really, really thrives on is just having on that Hell Dive Persona right turn, you give plus 20k to that front row, right? So 20k is front row. It's ideal. Even just one of them, your Marjorie is basically 23k body on its own without even boost. 33k if you use its skill. So that's already a 2-card drop on that Marjorie swing, and that's already threatening enough for you just because you're by the time they're at final rush, right? You're at 3 or 4 damage. You have to take at least 1 or 2 hits at that stage of the game. So thinking it solely at possible, like thinking it like theoretically and thinking of it of how logically you have enough to kind of guard and how you have to guard, like your guarding process, you are definitely not gonna let that fucking Leonard hit just because you don't want, like, even if Marjorie gets, like, say she boosts with the Dober, which gives a unit plus 10k when you're in final rush, you don't want Leonard to hit and get that Dober guaranteed because that Marjorie line would be bigger and anything else in the front row would be bigger. Like, there's already one guaranteed big column already thanks to Dober. Dober already guaranteed 10k. You don't want a second Dober to kind of kill you effectively even more. So you're gonna more likely have to guard the Leonard regardless of like your board state or anything, because what most people like to do is also double intercept to kind of like prevent that one column swing.
Yeah.
That Leonard. So with that being said, they have to hit Vanguard. So your guard would focus mostly on Vanguard. Like even on the Marjorie swing, that Marjorie swing gives you that opportunity to double intercept and prevent that Leonard bullshit happening. Like that's your one window of opportunity to kind of at least mitigate it. But with Helldive being the card that exists for this deck, and Leonard existing for the deck, it makes it so that even the double intercept and whatever card you have to dedicate from your hand, it's still going to be 2 cards or more dropped against that Marjorie, and just to prevent that Leonard play. So you're effectively dropping even more shield into a useless attack just to prevent Leonard to proc off.
The fact that he's not even once per turn is stupid.
I know. That's the only thing. Like, it's really just like that.
Also, his second skill, if he were to hit 2 units, it only activates once, right?
No, he activates per hit.
What?
Leonard activates per hit. So for each hit, he activates twice.
That's stupid.
So if he hits the one card in front, it activates once. Then he checks the second one. Second one, he'll do it again. Like that's what broke Leonard. In all honesty, like that's what people hate Leonard for, just because of that, because it procs off twice. But here's the thing: like it's a mandated soul charge regardless. Like regardless if it hits a column, you're mandated to soul charge too. Yeah. So even then, that's a soul charge 2 mandated already off the Leonard. So you're going through even more of your deck as well if you let that Leonard go.
The fact that you can just fill your field with Dobers, though, ugh.
Exactly, but it comes down to the Soul Blast 5 on that final rush turn, because most people have to really commit. Like if there's only 5 cards in Soul, you have to Soul Blast that Dober regardless. Like it hurts because you have to do it. Like you have no say in it or whatsoever. Like,
but either way, if you have at least like more than 1 Dober, regardless in Soul,
yeah, like no one or more Dober in Souls just helps you. It's just that it comes down to, because most people right now, especially in Bruce, are running either 3 Dober or even max out Dober or max out Protoball.
Mm-hmm.
It's really comes down to how the Bruce player builds it. Because, like,
that's ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous deck, but it's still manageable in my opinion right now. Like, in certain decks, like, here's the thing: people don't play the control map. Like, here's the thing: like decks like Prison handle it quite well. PBD surprisingly handles it well, just because you have the retire and you have the option of making them waste their resources just to get the key pieces out, get that Marjorie, get that Leonard out of the Soul. Like, they lost a card like Gear Colossus, which was an on place, which can counteract Prison, just to opt out for that Marjorie Soul Charge and draw. Mm-hmm. So without that option of kind of refunding, like even Prison, like if you play up against a good Prison player or a good PvD player, they are not pushing you past 4 damage. Mm-hmm. Just because they know you're going to commit either PG on the Vanguard swing because you're afraid of crit. Like, it all comes down to playing that matchup is a psychology matchup where it's player psychology at the end of the day with that. Like, either you take the big number off Vanguard and you're at 4 face down and hope to God I don't check the crit and bank on that, or just take really just take or just PG it or drop like copious amounts of cards from your hand or even on the field to intercept and prevent the swing. Like, it's really like how this game has progressed, and especially in D series, it's more gone into the player psychology. I feel like in this stage of the game, like it's still new. It's kind of player psychology. Bastion just does Bastion things. It throws the psychology out of the damn thing and just goes drop all my 26 grade 3s on the board.
D just feels a lot more enjoyable once you like take at least the way Bruce is right now and Bastion out of the equation. Like those two decks, at least with Bastion, they're kind of like slowing down the support, so maybe eventually the decks can catch up to him.
Like,
oh god, it's just a gap in power between those two and everyone else. Like maybe, like arguably, not Prison though, because Prison is like catching up pretty quickly. They're printing some really good support for them.
Listen. What they did with the grade 2 promo was a smart idea on their part. Making the grade 2 a promo, which basically says,
what's it called again?
Mouse. I can't remember the name. All I just remember is just its effect is an on place from hand. Just imprison the top card of your deck, and then if you have 3 or more, give it +5.
It's a grade 2, right?
It's a grade 2. You need quality. You just need quality numbers and a way to get closer to your win con.
All right. Is there a word from its name that you remember at least?
It's a battle princess. I know that. Royal battle princess.
Okay.
Like, you're gonna see a lot of like, it's let me just look it up here. No, it's not Elba. Not that bullshit. Wait. Here it is. Aurora Battle Princess Akius Margaret. Margaret, yeah. When this unit, it's.
They don't have it on the.
No, it's in Reveal Study. It's let me.
Okay, I was looking at the wiki.
Yeah, no, it's in Reveal Study. So Margaret, and they spelled it so weirdly, but the card fixes Prison's issue of getting at least the 3rd prison. But again, like, its win con is just really up in the air. It's either triggers or deck out. You win with this deck.
All right.
But other than that, yeah, it's just meh. Like, I see I see the argument with Derek, and I really, really, really see it as a major deck out issue. But I feel like
I think it's just a problem of literally every other deck being in the catch-up stage, while Bastion and Bruce already have that foundation built, and they're just getting even more bombs when the other decks just can't keep up yet. And then Lyrical comes out, Laurolinol. I heard that's like also pretty much just top 3 deck right as well with those two.
It's a guard restrict big number deck. It actually has guard restrict, but like looking at how D series is paced and how you have to discard a card to access ride deck, like Bruce, by the end of the day, looking at it even bigger at the game mechanics, you're discarding either triggers, so you're discarding shield, or you're discarding grade 2 or grade 3. So just to ride up and get to that, get your access to ride deck. Like, I've talked with all the Bruce players locally. They really have come down to the conclusion that really the game's mechanics currently do not allow you to play Derek. Like, it physically hurts you to play Derek a little bit, just because you're discarding pieces. You're discarding, like, you're confirming you're discarding Leonard, Marjorie, like Proto Bulb, even Geared Over at certain points, because everything is such a key piece. Like, even riding up into either one of them doesn't hurt you, but discarding them and guaranteeing yourself that it's out of the game and it's in drop zone, because the thing that would tip over Bruce, I feel, is having access to the drop zone.
Oh, please do not give him that ability.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. That's where, because with the drop zone, you can guarantee Bruce has no fucking way of getting any one of those pieces back.
It makes him way too consistent.
It makes him way too consistent. Not to mention, it makes him think of, God damn it, what do I have to do and what piece do I need to keep? Like it keeps the Bruce player on their toes. Not to mention, if you can physically, like, the issue that both of the top two decks have right now is that they can get rushed hard in grade 2 or grade 1. Like, you can physically commit hand and rush them and not suffer too much of a crackback. Bruce, maybe with Derek, just so you can shove itself in the soul to retire maybe 1 unit, but then you just lose an attack off that. Like, even if you shove the Derek into soul, you have, what is it? Derek becomes your 4th card in soul. You get to retire 1 card on a grade 2 rush to kind of punish the crackback, like kind of punish the rush, but at the same time, you're still losing out on another attack, and you still have to commit another card in hand if you want to rush back.
Mm-hmm.
So, what physically just kills both decks is that opponent, even Magnolia, can actually kill both of them, just because they have a well-established board with Duger or anything that's just power. Even that 10k attacker and 8k, like 18k boost on a grade 1, like 18k column on a grade 1 turn against either one of those, you're winning. You're pushing them hard. You're not letting up until they're at 3 or 4 damage before they're even grade 3, or before they even ride their first grade 3. So it's really comes down to defensive triggers leading up to both of them, and how much hand they have to suffer, or at least commit to guarding 1 attack per turn, like the attacks per turn, because there's gonna be 3 attacks before you even hit grade 3. Likely. It's just, you have to really, really have enough shield. Like we said before, kind of like the shield value still hurts this game. It's plaguing it just because you can't survive the big numbers that Persona Ride pumps up. Like, both Bruce and Bastion, as 2 separate decks, rely heavily on having a Persona Ride. Without it, Bastion becomes such a guardable attack, and Bruce can also become such a guardable attack. It's just that Bastion has less attacks than Bruce. So Bastion becomes a lot more manageable, and Bruce is just more... Bruce just plays an Excel clan if you don't have Persona Ride. Minus the Marjorie being a 23k body. Like, it's just... everything is so manageable without the Persona Ride. Like, Persona Ride and Helldive Full Blast tipped it over. Looking at it. But, like, it's not a reason for, like, I'm saying this now throughout the whole community, it's not a reason for you to kind of, like, leave it, because it's really just in the hands of someone who can't play Bruce. They're gonna deck themselves out because they have no physical way of knowing what the hell they're doing. Bastion, on the other hand, you don't need to know what the hell you do. You just check the grade 3, just throw them out on the board.
Yeah, Bastion is way too easy for how good he is.
Exactly. It's just like you just get pissed off because you just like, if you lose to a Bastion player who doesn't know anything, you just get pissed off. Like it's all comes down to like how much triggers they've hoarded and how much everything comes out. I'm like, you don't need skill. And if you're arguing field placement is a skill, my god, then Bruce is one of them that you need field placement to be so perfect.
But even then, like, even if you're like listing off, those are genuine criticisms of the Bruce deck, that still doesn't really change the fact that he's like topping all the time.
Like,
just absolutely demolishing every other deck that isn't named Bastion or Laurel.
Like, here's the thing, like, if we look at certain tops right now, like even from BSFO, like most of the 3 regions what topped the most and what really won a good chunk of the tournaments was more Bastion. Bruce was only prominent in what was it called in freaking Europe, which was the weirdest thing I've seen. Like Bruce has
Yeah,
the potential.
though to be fair, Bastion is like infinitely easier to pick up than Bruce.
Exactly. So that's why it's just like Bastion. How Bastion is designed is where it's so much better to pick up to and so much little to commit into, as opposed to Bruce, where you really have to think, and if you misguard or drop a certain unit on the guarding step, you're gonna get cracked. You're gonna get punished.
Though that's still just a problem in itself because Bruce didn't win. Who won this time? Oh, it was
Bastion.
Bastion.
Like,
But that and then like Larola and all, her being strong kind of makes sense because that nation only gets support as only going to be getting support twice a year, whereas everyone else is going to get it 4 times a year. But like
here's my thing. Like, I don't understand why people are also complaining about like, oh, why is he getting why are you giving Bermuda another set? I'm like, you're telling me nations with like 4 sets of support are gonna be able to like keep up with like what is it? Are gonna not be able to beat a set 1 Bermuda class. Like Bermuda's gonna get outclassed. Like everything and how they're designed right now is just at a certain point in time, everything's gonna get power crept regardless. Like how it's designed in any other card game, especially. Like you're gonna have metas where you're gonna have the best 2. You're gonna have that much thing. Like you just can't have everything be topping like everything. You're gonna have your definitive decks. It just comes down to like it comes down to the triggers in the end of the game and the end of the day for Vanguard. And
the thing is, like, it's just kind of worrying me. Is like, is Bruce and Bastion just gonna be the top 2 decks for the foreseeable future? Like, how long is it gonna take for other decks to like actually reasonably catch up to them? That isn't just Prison.
Like even then, like Lyrical Monastery is already showing promise just because of cat drills.
Okay, like, so I don't like Bermuda, right? But
do.
I'm gonna be like honest. Like their mechanics are pretty cool. They actually have some pretty neat like deck mechanics for Lyrical.
Like Lyrical honestly just grabbed a lot of different mechanics from a lot of different like even what was her name? Clarissa? The Dragon Maid girl actually just grabbed from Brawlers, and I'm like, wow, they actually put Brawlers in D, but for Lyrical Monasterio. Like, I never liked Bermuda, but again, certain mechanics in that whole nation make me want to play it like at least once, or at least pick up a deck from it.
Yeah.
Like the wings mechanic, like anything to me, like for me as a player, like I enjoy decks that make you think and make you actually kind of prepare.
That wings mechanic is super cool.
I know, exactly. That's why I'm picking it up. I'm just like, it's so like meticulous and it's so intricate to where you have to play it. Like you have to assess the situation, pick at it, and then do it. Like you can't just go willy-nilly and not like think about it with Prison. With what's it called?
I'm honestly not even gonna cap. I might potentially someday pick up a Lyrical deck just because of just how unique their decks are.
I know.
Because like I picked up Zorga because I love spell slinging decks. Those are like some of my favorite kinds of decks.
Yeah, Zorga.
And then
yeah,
and then I'm picking up Dragon Empire because of the chance of them printing a semi Murakumo deck. So
honestly, you have what is it called? You have the grade 2 that's used in what is it called? Eugene. It's semi and similar.
They're stealth dragons, but I'm just talking about like the actual like play style,
like
in general.
Yeah, I'm like I feel like maybe I don't know how Maidens might be playing is the way. It's just like Maiden might be interesting just because of equip cards.
Yeah,
that's where it's just like Dragon Empire is getting some really like.
You know what would be cool? If like the Vanguard can't attack, but it's like replaced by those weapons. Like maybe the weapons can drive check.
Oh God.
I don't know. That's just a stupid. It's just a crazy idea, but I highly doubt that's going to be how it works.
Like it's very up in the air right now on how they're going to incorporate these equip cards, because I feel like it's gonna be an order card. It's gonna be a continuous order card that goes on Vanguard. So it might be something.
It doesn't go on Vanguard. They go on their own specific.
Order zone. Yeah. But it would be cool if they kind of like, unless they do what was it? What they did for Bang Dream, which was to call it behind the circle. That would be something cool.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. They have to go in very specific circles.
Like even on rear guards or anything like that. That's
yeah. They go on specific rear guard circles. Like I'm pretty sure some of them are just gonna be in front row rear guards. So maybe one of them will go right behind Vanguard. But there are very specific areas you have to place them.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, this mechanic is gonna be so fun. Like, if they pick it up, it's gonna be so fun. Like, so fun. Other than that, yeah, it's gonna take a while. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I get why the community kind of wants to burn down everything right now with Derek, but
hold on. Would aim to be the strongest idol, the one that makes the Clarissa attack 3 units, would that override Fasado's skill, or does the choosing count as choosing from a skill?
Wait, what does it do? I can't remember.
It says it gets continuous Vanguard circle when this unit would attack. Choose 3 of your opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, and this unit battles all the units in the chosen circles. I'm just guessing it overrides it because you're just choosing for an attack.
You're choosing for attack. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it should. Yeah, it should go over. It should override it.
Okay.
You're attacking me regardless.
Just making sure.
Yeah, it's basically saying the same thing with like, what is it? No, Leonard's wording is so weird. I was like, does Leonard say choose?
No, it just battles all the units in that column.
Yeah, it just battles a column, and I'm just like, yeah. So like, yeah, no, it's a weird way to word it. I feel like they shouldn't have worded it that way. You just should have worded it the same way as they worded the the G2 Buffalo they gave Stoicheia, which was kind of us one, just attack the whole front row. Like that would have been better, but how they worded Clarissa is where you can choose back row now too.
Yeah,
it's so unique, and I hate that, but it works too well. My God, kind of must win. Clarissa, no. But other than that, Lyrical Monastery season is coming, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm sorry, what? Okay. That's annoying. That made it annoying. Okay. So I just reread Catgirl. So Catgirl doesn't let you use Sentinels on her swing.
I see.
So that's where
someone just pointed this out in the wiki, and Clarissa's lore is pretty cool.
Ooh,
so essentially, like when you're riding up from grade 1 and 2, it's like those skills are adding like her friends to your hand, right? So they're adding units to your hand. But her second skill is like if you have no other rear guards, she gets power. So it's like her kind of like being a loner, right? Like she gains friends, but she still likes to be alone. And then when she gets to grade 3, all of a sudden you need a full field. So it's like it goes from her being a loner to like her kind of opening up to people. And now suddenly having people all around her, you know?
That's too wholesome. Why?
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
See, now they're just roping all the people who didn't want to play like Bermuda into this bullshit for no reason.
Yeah, bro. Oh my god.
Why are you doing this?
Why did you have to make me look like a simp for wanting to play this game?
Exactly.
To play this deck. Like, bro. put that shit on a fucking Narukami dragon, bro, please.
But you do kind of have a Narukami dragon though, but it's a dragon maid. It's just if you like dragon maids from Yu-Gi-Oh, now you can just come in here and just have this. Just why? Me trying to figure out wings. Because I'm really about to just play wings. Not really drop prison, just have it in the back pocket. See how I enjoy wings, and see how well I can run it with it. Because it's just the deck has potential. Are people gonna know how to run this shit? Not a fucking clue. Like, the community either figures it out or they don't, or they wait until someone else figures it out and then they start playing the deck. Like, I feel like that's just how it works. I feel like anywhere else, like you just wait until that one person figures it out, then just follow it through. Like you just net deck. Like nothing has become, I want to say, unique anymore. Like everything's either net decked or just you try and make, like, you try to do a certain thing, but it doesn't. Like, it really doesn't. Let's see. Wings. Training prayer, baby wall. Training as is Celestial. When the students place choose card from the mind's prayer. Interest. Black and white wings. Wait, where's the grade 3? Shit, now I'm looking through all of this lyrical monastery. Give me the grade 3 that allowed me to fucking have both alive. Where are you? Wait, where is that shit? Fuck, where's that grade 3? Was it a grade 3 or was it a grade... Where's the wings? I'm looking for the grade 3 that allowed me, like, that allows both wings mechanics to go.
Oh yeah, it's a grade 3. It's a triple R. It's Elkiel, whatever her name is.
Oh, it's a triple R.
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, when your ring is placed, bind this unit, draw a card. This card's bind. Mount both white wings and black wings of your cards are activated until end of next turn. Okay. Yep, that's that's a 4 of Archangel Celestial. Because I'm trying to remember what the fuck was the card's name, and is it a triple R or a lower rarity? Because I'm hoping it's a low rarity card, just because it's card is that good.
Grade 3 with 8,000 base power.
Was that how much power? Oh my god, I didn't even see that.
Oh no, Bibuel.
Ooh.
Bibuel or whatever.
Oh, this bitch.
Yeah.
So boss 1, draw a card. This is. I mean, she's 5K. She even then you don't give a shit. Like you really don't give a shit. How's it been at your locals? Because I'm just like, aren't you guys just playing? What's it called? D series at this point, as you're like.
On Thursdays we do V premium, and on Saturdays we do D standard.
Interesting. So you guys actually play both formats. That's where
yeah. Lots of people still play V.
Yeah, no, I figured because like V's actually still like
V is still popping off, especially with once like Heal Guardians come out. Oh my god. Also, it's because like not a lot of people are playing Overlord or Gavriel. Like there's one or I think 2 people playing Prism, but that's about it.
Yeah, everything's just like without those like those decks, everything's kind of balanced. in my
Everything's
opinion.
like way more enjoyable. Yeah.
It's a lot more enjoyable than anything. Like even
Like
with what is it?
Like at the start, some people, like I think there were like 2, maybe 3 people playing Gavriel, but people just started playing other decks. And of course, I'm just still playing Yasui because that's like the only V deck that I really play. Maybe until Hyaki comes out.
Yaki, yeah. Like currently in V, like I'm just waiting for like Daikaiser to come out. Daikaiser actually fixes Zeal. It becomes a very very perfect like. It becomes a very perfect.
Welcome back, everyone. After that 1 hour integration had.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was 1 hour.
No, like I said I should go intermission around 6:20. It's now 7:07.
My God.
So let's jump back into it. I did say it was going to be a long stream because I've been gone for a month. So yeah. So last we left out, we were debating over Derek, right?
Yeah. We kind of just started talking about lyrical.
Lyrical.
Oh,
is just
actually,
fun.
no. That's a great segue from bullshit cards like Derek to lyrical Mysterio.
Like again, at the end of the day, like looking at Derek's design, it helps the consistency and helps build the board and helps like Bruce not coming in hand. But it still doesn't fix the fact that Bruce still needs at least a Persona Ride or Helldive Full Blast to at least attempt to be a threat, at least to kill you.
The only problem is just that every deck that is even slightly below Prison just really struggles.
I'll concede the fact that Bruce needs specific pieces to still kill you. But the one point that I won't fall back on is that the fact that you can call board. It shouldn't be able to do that. That's not fair.
I know, but you're basically doing a gold pal thing and hoping to God your top 5 is doable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The things that it's not going to drop soon, is it? Where's it going?
It's going into Soul,
And
which is
exactly.
okay, cool. You're fixing the one issue that also Bruce had, which was Soul, cool, which is at the final rush turn, which helps. Like, it helps Bruce, but now here's the thing. Derek puts you down the crossroad of, do I want the final rush, or do I want the board?
No, but here's the thing. I play, Brian will tell you, I play Bruce semi-religiously. Like, for fuck's sake, I have the deck right here. Like, I play Bruce fairly, like, a lot. Now, as a Bruce player, right, here's one thing I don't like about the community. Just because I play the deck doesn't mean I can't criticize it, okay? That whole mentality, get it out of your head. Because, to be honest, right, me playing the deck means I can criticize it, in fact, even more than the other person because I know how the deck works, right?
100%.
So because I play the deck doesn't mean I can't criticize it. Do I love Bruce? Hell yeah. I like the mechanic. I like the way it plays. I like the way you can do rush beatdown. In fact, and there's things I don't like about how it's turn 4, which I think is kind of... Honestly, I think it's a good and bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
It balances it out.
Exactly. It balances it out. I think it's a bad thing because I'm sitting there...
What balances it out, like, here's the thing. Like, both meta decks, both of the top 2 balance out just because they're a turn 4 deck.
Yeah. I mean, also, it's a bad thing because, just when the die roll 5 had that meme. But
it's when the die roll not get rushed on, hope for God for defensive triggers. That's a lot of factors to hope on.
But the thing is, right, is that, and yes, I also have where's Bastion? Where's a fucking piece of shit deck? Where is it? It's in my it's in there.
Like, if I have to be completely honest,
like I have both. Go ahead. What's up?
Like here's my thing. Like, I have both. Like, I will be completely honest. I have both meta decks built. Do I play them competitively at locals? Hell the fuck no. Why? Because I don't want to be a meta whore.
No, know what? There's also another argument I want to say about the community, right? Listen, I'm not just saying this to people in this call. I'm not just saying this to the people in the server. I'm saying this to everybody, all right? Here's the thing, all right? I'm gonna turn on my mic so you can hear it, right? Here we go. Just because my favorite deck is top tier doesn't mean I'm a meta whore. Okay?
Like,
what makes me a meta whore is that any time here's what meta whore is, right? Because some people genuinely enjoy football players. Like some people have play spikes, probably play Bruce, and then be called a meta whore. No. Here's what makes me a meta whore, right? I don't have a favorite deck. I play what wins. That's what makes me a meta whore. If fucking Nirvana, honestly, if Nirvana was in the same spot Bruce was in, and I'm playing Nirvana, and that doesn't only reason I'm playing Nirvana, that's a meta whore. But here's the thing, right? What makes someone not a meta whore is if you build. Where's Nirvana? Is if you still build Nirvana, even though it's not even tier 1.
Exactly. Like, here's the thing. Here's what really tips you into things. So, if you've honestly built and played the deck, like both meta decks, you would get a better understanding of the issues that each deck has. Like, you get a deeper understanding of each deck. And even if you want to play against someone who wants, hey, he's like, even if you have a buddy who's like wants to get competitive, he's like, hey, can you beat me in with Bastion or Bruce? My God, if they ask you that, don't do that to them. But at the same time, if they ask it, they kind of want to get better at it as well and learn the matchup. Not only does that benefit them, it benefits you to learn. Oh shit! If I don't have X, Y, and Z in hand, I kind of lose this deck, and I had to bank on a heal trigger to survive that turn. Like, there's like
I kind of want to.
A lot.
Go ahead.
Like what Overdress really just did was like give us a simple card pool. You can build any of them. No, all of the trial decks are $4.
Also, I just want y'all to know that Bruce isn't really beginner friendly because you gotta know how to play against the matchups to play it right. I'm just
exactly.
Like okay, hold on, real quick though. It always just like really hits me that Amon's really finally coming to V again. Like I'm like, what did Bushiroad do with the original illustrator of Amon to finally be able to put him in?
Oh no, they got around it.
Nice segue, Brian.
How did they get around it?
Don't worry, guys. We're complete professionals.
I think no, because what I heard from what is it, our one and only DI simp, our man who is the top 8 from BSFO with DI Premium.
The man that was in the last podcast a month ago, lol.
Yeah, Mr. Noto himself. So how they got around it was that they've kind of got around the artist. Like they hired a new artist or something, made it into a different art style. I think it's the same. We all know it's still Amon. It's
okay.
Like
the thing here's the thing, right? If that's the case, right, I don't put it past them to redo Still Vampire. I don't put it past them. Like I understand the artist that made Still Vampire is dead, but to honor his memory.
Here's my thing. If we're getting Still Vampire, that means we're getting Mr. Invincible.
Hey man, I've been waiting for Mr. Invincible since 2003. Let's get it.
Mr. Invincible with the hero support.
LOL came out in 2011.
I still find it crazy just how different Amon Reverse looks like compared to regular Amon.
Yeah.
See, even then, we're getting Amon. Like, here's the thing. I don't think we're gonna get 2 grade 3 boss units right off the back in these clan collections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're delaying even the reverses, just to get some like.
No, but the thing is, right? They said that we're getting clan selection 5 and 6 in middle of the summer, so we're gonna get 2 clan grade 3 bosses, or we might get bosses, might get support because a lot of for example, Gear Chronicle, Chronos Command ain't a boss; it's a support card. A lot of these, like a few of these cards, like the Angel Feather one, is a boss card. The Riser one is a boss card, but everything else, like honestly, Maelstrom Reverse is going to be a support card. It's going to be a boss. It's not.
Mm-hmm. It honestly is just a cover card of just like, oh, it's the epitome of what the good card is in for this deck or what it like does or something like that.
Also, Bushiroad, can you do me a favor, right? Just real quick, can you please remove the embargo on VRs and like reprint them, please?
Oh, no,
I don't want to spend $20 on the next stage again. Can you not?
So VRs here's the thing. VRs are going to be confirmed reprinted in late 2022, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to reprint it, I think, in late 2022 because it's been confirmed, I think. Like, there has been a source that says it's been confirmed that we are getting those VRs reprints.
No, it was from the producer himself. We're getting reprints in late 2022.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that producer.
So,
yeah. So it's kind of
so we were going to talk about Lyrical Monasterio, right?
Oh boy. The lovely.
So I hope y'all ready. So I hope y'all are ready to sing a song with the cat ladies, because you know what? That's gonna be number 3. That's deck number 3.
Gross.
See, at the very least, they kind of have to be a bit higher power level
Number
per
of
set,
cards,
just
120.
only having
God.
due to only having 2 sets rather than 4 like everyone else.
Apparently, isn't the best ride line either sing Laurel Nerol or something like that?
Yeah,
that's the song. That's the sing-a-song cat girl.
Honestly, when I first, because like we went over this card in like the last podcast about a few months ago, me and a friend of mine went over this card and we were like, yeah, this card's gonna be fucking disgusting. Like he said it himself, like, yeah, this is going to be hellacious because of just how much it just
hits. Here's how I'm seeing this. Like Lyrical Monastery will have some kind of effect on the meta as well, to a certain extent, but it's not gonna. Like it can maybe somewhat shift the attention from the top 2 to this.
Oh no, like, bro,
like
prod, it's already out. It's already made an effect on the meta in Japan.
Yeah, because everyone here's the thing: you can have people turn out with 31 of that cat girl, 10 Bruce, 10 Bastions. Guess what's still topping? Bruce or Bastion?
Honestly, it's
a lot of people are going to be playing it because it's a new deck.
No, from what I've seen from the Bermuda Triangle, Lyrical Monsterio shit, right? It's like the top 3 decks are Bruce, Bastion, and Laurel Nerol. But like with this, from what I've heard with this new grade 2, Bruce just literally just swept past them with this new grade 2. From what I've heard, because it's gross.
It's gross, but I still feel like if you can Bastion can still overpower it. Like we're falling into a triangle meta once Lyrical Monasterio comes out. Like it's gonna be a triangle meta.
Like to be honest, according to a different fight, like the whole Vanguard JP Twitter just completely melted down to the point where they might bring it up in some stream. That's what different fight said. Do I think they'll do that? Probably, because honestly, right, for all the stuff Bushiro gets wrong, right, the one thing that they get right is that they're very, very like in touch with the player base,
the community,
like more than most companies are. So I think I know I said
you want to go into Yu-Gi-Oh and their bullshit politics.
Yeah, I mean that, but but like to be honest, right, like I said it before in the last stream, Bushy Road, like I'm telling you right now, I know you won't listen to this or watch this, which is kind of sad because, but I'll tell you right now, right, you can't please everybody. You just can't. There's gonna be people who are, and the thing is that honestly, our community, like we're still on the community meltdown thing, our community is so divided between Bruce players and everyone else. Like Bruce players will say, "Oh, the new grade 2 isn't too terrible. It doesn't do all that much." When everyone else is saying, "No, the new grade 2 is broken." And I honestly, right, a party wants to believe the party of against the new grade 2, but I can't like tune out the other part of the argument of people who play Bruce, because besides, so if you play Bruce, right, and you're against this grade 2, then you have a point. But if you're attacking this grade 2 and you've never played Bruce before, you don't have much of an argument. That's what I'm saying. Because you don't know how the deck runs or plays. So how would you know if this card's busted? But if you sat there and play tested this grade 2 and seen, oh my god, this thing's disgusting, and you bring in your evidence, okay, yeah, sure, all right, then I can believe you. And to be honest, it kind of applies to me as well, because I don't play this Bruce 24/7.
Like, here's my thing. Like, why force yourself to soul charge a Derek? That's an axe skill. Like, think of it this way. Like, in the mentality of Bruce players, why soul charge a card that you can still have value past its initial on place? And what's stopping you from keep doing that?
I mean,
like,
to be honest, right? If you're okay, like you said before, Bruce is really piece reliant. If your hand is like Marjorie, Proto Bulb, Hellblast Full Dive, triggers and stuff like that in your hand that you really need in your hand, like total, you're gonna soul charge the Derek because that's the least important card. It's already served its purpose.
Exactly. Like it's gonna be that option, but like it still becomes like, oh, do I really want to soul charge a Derek when I can still use it another turn and my opponent doesn't have any way, or
physical way or piece that they can do to reliably get it off the board. Like, it comes down to really how greedy you are as a player to say, let's keep the Derek on the board. Like, it really, like, by the end of the day, like, even with Derek, your end board is still going to be remotely the same, minus what your last grade 2 is, regardless if it's Leonard, Eden, whatever you want to tech in. You have enough techs to kind of do it, but your physical, like, core pieces are still going to be that Leonard, Marjorie, Protobulb, and Dober. And Helldive Full Blast. If you're going to try and hit Bruce, Helldive Full Blast might be the way to do it over Leonard. Because at least without a Persona Ride and without any way of getting more power with Helldive Full Blast and giving them the extra card, they have to dig further more. And then also 15k Leonard is... What's 15k Leonard doing to your 13k base Vanguard? Or even just whatever you have on board. Like, you can give them the guaranteed hit for sure.
That 15k Derek is a 5k out of the hand.
It's a 5k. It's an intercept, honestly. Like, to me, at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's just like what really tips the deck over is the power that it gains from Helldive and Persona Ride.
To me, even without that, what tips the deck over to me is the power of the Hellblast Full Dive and the Persona Ride, right? But what makes it really unfair to me is that superior call. I can't get off the fact that superior call is actually ridiculous.
It's a superior call, but at the same time, it's just you're getting like off the superior call. You're really just conflicted of, okay, do I want to put 4 of them in? Because I already have the guaranteed 1 in Soul, thanks to Derek's skill to shove a rear guard into Soul. Do I want the 4 cards off my top deck in the Soul, or do I want a board? Like, here lies the crux.
To be honest, right, it's gonna be right. It's gonna be. Look at the top 5 cards of the deck. Whatever I want, it's gonna go on board. Whatever I don't want, it's gonna be in the Soul. Yeah, like the fact that you get to Soul Charge, all of that, like, and at least before with Leonard, right? At least Leonard has to hit to get the Soul Charge off. At least with Marjorie, you have to attack to get the Soul Charge off. This just says call, do it. That's dumb. It's fucking dumb.
It's call and act. So it's really just you're still committing hand board as well, like hand onto the board as well. By the end of the day as well, because what you need necessarily, and what really comes down to how much power can you pump up on a board without a Helldive or without a Persona Ride, comes down to that like top 5, top whatever board you build off of Derek, and maybe whatever you commit out of hand, because you're still going to be committing a bit out of hand. If the top like 4 or 5 aren't quality, or something off the top isn't quality for you to kind of sustain a board that's really threatening to your opponent. Like, on a Persona Ride, like, if you think about it, even a Persona Ride or Helldive Full Blast, even putting a damn trigger is actually scarier. Like, if you're missing Leonard, that's fine. You built a board with Derek, and I can see their understanding, like, oh, it's a 25k trigger. Shit. Like, and off the Protobulb, or after, what is it, Dober, even more power. Like, at the end of the day, it's just, the deck relies so heavily on, like, Helldive or Persona Ride. Getting rid of Helldive would really, really help kind of slow the deck down, because it doesn't have really a guaranteed, like, power boost as much as possible. Like, Dober guarantees it, Leonard can somewhat guarantee it, but without the extra, what is it, 20k you get off Persona and Helldive, it's like, I'm playing against a Persona Ride that you run 3 copies left in deck, or you can somehow grab it off of Protobulb, which is a waste of CB, waste of a rear guard going into Soul, waste of 1 hand card being a potential shield to being something that's discard fodder for PG potentially on a very, very big column. Like, I see the community's distress in it, but at the same time, it's just like,
no, I think the community distress, right, doesn't. I honestly think some of the hate pours onto Derek, but if we widen the scope a little bit, right, I think the community distress is, if I could sum it up in a few words, right, the community distress is, okay, we're talking about Bruce and how overpowered it is. as we're talking about it, right? He gets more support. Where's the other support for Beryl Magnus? Where's this good support for Eugene? Where's the good support for all the other things that they're falling behind? What's going on? Like that's the anger in the community right now. We're on set 3, right?
Like, I understand that's the anger in the community, but it's just like at least Bushiroad is not forgetting about each archetype. Like,
no, it's not. It's not forgetting about each archetype. It's favoritism. That's the issue. It's blatant favoritism. And like I said in my post, right? It's favoritism to the non-main character clan. If this was Nirvana, I'd be like, okay, it's a main character clan, okay, cool. But at least Nirvana's fair. The hell is this?
like, here's the thing. Like we said before, like, we put all the power cards aside to satisfy the little hungry, like, Bastion Bruce Simps. And then afterwards, like, even then, like, after set 2 and set 3, like, set 3 Bastion isn't looking like the deck's gonna change too often. Like, sure, you switch out maybe Dark Strain for the set order card that gives grade 3's boost, so you don't have to constantly revolve around Dark Strain anymore.
Hang on, I got something to check. One second. What were the triple R's for Keter Sanctuary in set 3? Because I have
think
questions.
So the grade 3, so one of the neutral bars is a grade 3 that when it attacks a Vanguard, counterblast to rest any number of other rear guards until end of battle. This unit can perform.
Okay, advanced intertwined stars. Okay, so Keter Sanctuary, the first triple R is Aspiring Magic Kakarone, whatever we call it. Which is placed on rear guard if you have Hexa Orbs or Pentagon Sorcerer Soul Blast 1 with the top 2 cards of your deck. Call them. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them in the top deck in any order. If your Vanguard is Hexa Sorceress. Okay, okay, sure, fine. Sure, cool.
Oh, no,
nice grade 2, 5 head.
But there's also a new Hexa Orb card that I think it's a grade 1 that guarantees you on place get a Hexa Orb.
Okay, cool. Nice. Consistency.
So it fixes the Hexa Orb Persona Right issue, but it really just needs, like, it really needs more filtering. Like, if it wants to be in an OTT-esque, like, playstyle, it needs more of the filtering. It doesn't really need, like...
Okay, this one
like, the guaranteed Persona Right is nice. Like, it fixes the issue with it.
Unsurpassed heavily impact Ragriel. When she attacks the Vanguard, counterblast 2, rest... They're not going to play this card. It's already unplayable. No. Counterblast 2, rest any number of rear guards. This unit performs drive check and gets 5,000 power. At the end of the battle, if you have 3 of 2 rear guards at rest... This card's shit. This card's shit.
Exactly. But here's the but. It can potentially be a tech. Just like how people said Refueros and the grade, the dragon?
Why would I play this over Alden or Refros or Prideful Dragon or Fasado or Reflute or any other card that's better than this?
Exactly. That's why I'm like it's just throwing a bone at the community. Like, even then, do you want my honest opinion? You can possibly play this in stupid fucking Hexa.
I mean, yeah, you can play this in Hexa. I don't see why you would, but you can. I don't see why you would, but you can.
Like, you can't. If you're the brave soul that wants to try this in Hexor, God bless you.
Have fun. This card's ass. But, like, that's the thing, though, right? Good on Bushiroad. Keter Sanctuary got shit support for once. Like,
no. The icing on this cake is the grade 1 common continuous Guardian Circle. Right, all of your grade 3 units get shield plus 5k.
Wait, who says this?
It's the Knight of Heavenly Departure flop.
Knight of Heavenly. Hold on, I need to find this. Knight.
It's right under the grade.
Punishment. Is it grade 1 or grade 3?
Grade 1. If you go to Reveal Study, it's right up above Derek.
Okay, I'll just... Reveal Study, scroll down. Right above Derek. Oh yeah, Knight of Heavenly... fucking flop.
Well, read it.
Knight of Heavenly Departure, flop. I'm sorry, I can't get over that.
sums up all of our Sanctuary support today. Listen. Breathe. Breathe.
Nah, come on, Pro. You can't. Yo, Knight, I got a card for you. Knight of Heavenly Spear, Crope.
Wait, we have a car like. Wait. Hold the fuck. Wait, what?
Nah, fucking flop, dude. I can't.
Nah,
I can't
but
get over that name. It's so.
Nah. But it's such a bad card as well. Rate it.
Continuous shit, card. Yeah, but like it's. I might just play it for the name.
It perfectly sums up what set 3 Bastion is, honestly. Like set 3 Bastion support, this perfectly sums up it all. Sums it all up. It's a flop.
Yeah, and it deserves to be so.
Yeah, good. Yeah, exactly. It deserves to be bad. Like the deck is good. It doesn't need, honestly, right? I argue anyone who fully built Bastion, right, from set 1, congratulations, you just made a return on your investment. Because, like,
honestly,
you don't even need set 2 shit. Set 1 is good on its own.
No, here's the thing. If you're playing Bastion, all you need are singles. You're a triple R. Refueros is a 50-cent triple R. It's depressing.
Get the SP. No excuse.
Wow, you right. Shit, you right. Shit, you right. Even set. So if you're one of the people that wanted to get into Vanguard and decided to just invest in set 2, I am so sorry for your loss.
Honestly, set 2 was flawed monetary wise, but if you're good at TCG player, right?
Oh my god! Even the Refueros SP. Why is it so bad?
So let's go to Genesis of the Five Grades. Let's start with that real quick.
Oh yeah, set 2 prices are kind of poo poo.
It's not even hard. Set 2 prices.
Like here's the thing.
Here's where we have. Let's widen the scope even further, right? Here's where we have even bigger issues, right? You're telling me I remember when set 1 came out for V era, right? Freaking building OTT wasn't cheap. Building Kagura wasn't cheap. Building any of those wasn't cheap. But look at this, right? If you wanted to build set 1 Bastion, who's stopping you? The only expensive card is Fasado at 10. But like Alden, $4. Fucking what else you need? Your PG, $3. Cheap as fuck. And then okay, let's say I want to build Zorga. $20. $20. That's it.
See, here's the thing. At this point in D series, there's no point in going for base rarity. You go hollow or not hollow, or even hollow or SP.
Oh come on, don't do that to me. Even
like if you want to
click on this, right, and we click on a brush with the legends real quick.
Oh god, even the hollow is a 14-cent card. What the actual fuck, bro?
Hold on,
yeah.
Let me look at this. A brush with the legends.
See, what I'm guessing is like later on, once those cards become, a little bit more like harder to come by, because it's gonna be the very first set.
I understand the cards become hard to come by, but gee, it said 2. Okay, Leonard's $9, fair. Urger $7, fair. Alright, you want to build Zorga in set 2? Here's your Rogue Heads and Hunter for literally nothing. Refros, do I even need to talk about that?
Here's the thing, like
honestly, if I was still in middle school and this set dropped, I knew about Vanguard, I built a pretty decent deck for cheap with my lunch money, with my fucking lunch money. That's hilarious. How much is Jirachi again? Let me see. 7. God, man, fuck.
See, just make sure you get all your generic pieces, or just everything while you can right now.
Yeah,
because
like to be honest, right, if you're more lucky, right? If you're more lucky and you have homies that are willing to just give you free cards, thanks, Brian.
What a dox. But here's
Brian's
the thing.
like, I'm gonna hold it over your head. You owe me like a fuck ton of money.
No. Here's my thing. Here's another thing why I like about. They do reprints like crazy. At certain points.
Honestly, I think, and to be honest, right, we can't really like say anything because the reprints, they released a reprint set right after set 1. festival collection, so I'm not surprised.
Exactly.
Let's jump over to the VR market real quick. So something much different. Let's just see the differences after the reveal of reverse units. Cecilia was worth like what, $3-4? $12.
No,
$15.
Here's the thing. So Cecilia was still holding up to a nice $6 to $7. It just jumped fuck ton of
Maelstrom,
13.
my boy, where you at? Maelstrom,
Bro, Maelstrom,
$60.
bro. Maelstrom has been a lost cause since its support. Chill.
Hey yo, run that by me again. Who's lost cause? Who's lost
In terms
cause?
of price, David.
I'm talking about in value, my guy.
Yeah,
it's been a lost
in value. Yeah, mind you, we're not. I'm kidding.
Exactly. Here's my thing. Maelstrom has been a lost cause. That card has been like, this is the lowest I've seen it in a while.
I mean, to be honest, right, the original Maelstrom is still like it used to be like in the 30s at one point. Now it's at 16.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's at a nice 17 for once.
Hey yo, where Gear Chronicle at? Hell yeah, where Gear Chronicle at? Well, how much you is now? How much you is now? 18. Yes, 15, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh no! Look at Great Ayusha.
Oh god, I'm not even there yet. Let me keep clicking. I'm just brushing through the VRs. Lupina, no one cares.
Yeah, has never gone below $30.
No, time out. What the fuck happened to the end? What? No. What happened to the end?
You mean got bought out?
No, it's 10. So I'm selling for $10.
Okay, just please tell me, why has Lukier never dropped below $30?
Because reverse. It used to be cheap, now it's reverse.
No, it was like
it has never dropped below 30.
I mean,
to be honest,
right? The release. I mean, it was. I checked it before. Even reverse units came out, it was pretty low. Now because reverse units is high.
The lowest it's ever been was like what, 8 or 10?
7 or 8 roughly. Now it's
7 or 8
higher.
Dude, they can have
my favorite card, God Hand Dragon, is now $3. Big sad.
Bro, Bushiroad can release like some random trigger that just says like that even mentions Lukier in its flavor text, and it'll jump up to $40.
Nah, just have a Silverthorn name and you win.
Dude, seriously, just have they could release a grade 0, no effect, just a vanilla, but its name is Silverthorn, and that'll like boost up her price to like 50.
Your price went up. Where you at? Get over here. Your price went up, Vanquisher. Mwah. Your price went up. Congratulations. You're not $20 again. Let's go.
I've never seen Vanquisher gone, like, here's the thing. Vanquisher has never gone down from the 10s. At all.
Yeah. It used to be in the 30s.
Like, it used to be in the... I know. Vanquisher used to be in the 30s. But it's never gone out of the 10 ranges. Yeah, like, it's always been a 15 to $30 card. Like, it's never gone down ever since what was it?
Vanquisher is just a really good deck. Ain't that right, Brian?
Yasuo's better.
Suck my dick. That's why your cards are for $2.
Oh, okay. Okay. Between both decks, here's the thing. Yasui has both.
Let's see how much Yasui is, huh? Let's see how many coins I need to use to buy your fucking VR. No, let's find out. Let's keep scrolling and let's find out how much your Yasui is real quick. Let's find. It's gonna take me a minute because
David,
I'm going through card.
David,
no. You saying Yasui?
No. Dude, Lukier's $30. Yasui can absolutely smack Silverthorns.
Yasui
Price doesn't
at
mean
49 cents. How sad.
Okay,
how you
bro,
feel?
Look at
Eos
Sanis'
dragon. A cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Look at Eos Sanis' dragon. That thing's 28 cents and like.
And wait, what dragon? And what dragon? Excuse me.
Uranus is like one of the best decks.
What dragon?
Don't even mention that bullshit of a
No. What dragon? Explain. What dragon?
Eosanius dragon. The Uranus
because
28 cents. One of the best
expendable. It's the most expendable. If you want to talk about the expensive VRs, you look at your range at $16. The market has spoken, Brian. Your card is shit.
No, what's spoken about this market is basically Team
Vanity's spoken.
The market is literally just a popularity contest. It has literally no bearing in terms of like how good a deck is.
The market has spoken.
No, here's what I have to say about the market.
how much Team Dragon's Vanity is left out there in the world right now?
Not a lot, I don't think. But like
exactly, how much Butterfly to Moonlight is out there in the freaking world right now?
A lot.
That's a main booster set, David.
No. There's a fuck ton of that card that set lying around. There's too many.
Exactly. If you are a card shop that invested into Butterfly to Moonlight, I'm sorry. That set is so minus. Team Dragon's Vanity, thank God, you guys made money. Congratulations.
Yo, Clarence worth $150. Hey yo.
Because Clarence Sword ain't shit, my guy.
Fucking what else is? Hang on. What? If you bought into Phantasmal Series, you made your money back at the time.
No. If you somehow got your box to sell locally, if you're from my locals and you're the scumbag that bought the Phantasmal Steed Restoration boxes for $16 a pop, you made your money back. Congratulations. Hate you. But
I mean, there are some main money sets that still hold their value up to it's like Champions of the honestly the one set I think that still holds its value above all else is Champions of the Asia Circuit. That's the set that holds the most value. Could you get your Maelstrom? Could you get Dayusha?
Here's how Champions of the Asia Circuit for me. Like Champions of the Asia Circuit has some value. Like before Maelstrom support, it really didn't anything of value in that set. Like to be honest, you honestly just want like Maelstrom was maybe an $8 card or $10 card just because of what is it, Glory Hole Maelstrom?
Oh, I know. Suck a dick. No, it's because I'm saying it's worth value now. Why is Great Dayusha $35?
Which one?
Great Dayusha.
Oh, because you just here's the play with it, right? So you since now Dai Kaiser becomes a Force 1 clan, god freaking damn it, DP never touched Force 1 in the longest time. But you know, c'est la vie. We for Force 1 now. You can now effectively call Dai Kaiser swing. Okay, cool. Since its power level reaches that threshold for Dayusha, do Great Dayusha, yada yada yada. Then call the Dai Kaiser on the rear guard. It's so counterblast heavy, yet it just works enough against the protect matchup. It's so stupid.
Yo, can I just honestly we have a shout out as a bit of a sponsor. This stream is sponsored by my PC for surviving this long without exploding.
I thought you were about to say Raid Shadowless, and I was gonna smack.
No. That's what I'm gonna say. No, this video and stream is sponsored, not sponsored by Raycon. I use Raycon every day for swimming, for reading, for running, for eating, for brushing my teeth, for jerking off, all that good shit. So I think Raycon. I think
if you want to hear some high quality porn,
I'm doing the ad. God, I think Raycon is an amazing product. Use code SP for 50% off your first purchase, and then use code I don't want to use that word, I'll also get banned off of YouTube. Use word NF. There we go. I'm sure you probably know what that means if you watch iDubbbz. For
oh my god.
For 70.
It took me a while, and then you said iDubbbz, and I immediately got it.
Hey yo, so I got a question, right? We've been talking about Vanguard a lot for the past 4 hours, but I have a question that I think is really funny. If you're it's not really card game related, but if you're half black and half white, do you just gain half the N-word pass?
No. Listen. If you're half black and half white, my god, you have both privileges.
No. I mean, you're half black, right? So you have half the minority card, right? But you're half white, so you have half privilege. So you just gain half of the best things. Or gain half.
Look, David. Look, there is nothing more powerful than a mixed person that can pass off as white. Okay.
Honestly,
you could be like. Yeah, but Brian, whenever I see you, you pass off as Mexican, so.
See, yeah, but
so no, Brian, you're not understanding. You have the Holy Trinity. You have the plight of a black person, the plight of a Mexican person, and the privilege of a white person. You have the Holy Trinity of bullshit.
What privilege do I have as a Hispanic person outside of
No. You have what we call you have in your deck of in your deck of Twitter, we'll call it Twitter. In your deck of Twitter, right? You have the racism card, you have the privilege card, and you have the feel bad for me card. I don't know what the card's called. Something. The feel bad for me card. You know.
The sympathy card.
Huh?
Sympathy.
Yeah, the sympathy card. There we go. Yeah. The sympathy card. So you have all these cards in your. You might as well be a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh player because you have all these good cards in your deck.
Well, I mean, I am getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh. At least trying to.
Hey, welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome to Tri Brigade bullshit.
I'm
welcome
not
to
buying rockets.
This is
all.
No. Here's the thing. Right, what the issue right now with Yu-Gi-Oh is right now main deck is 12 freaking hand traps.
See, like, from what I've seen, the game does look like it's in probably the best state it's been in a really long time.
Actually balanced, but it's just like if you're not a one card combo deck, you're not doing much.
See, like, I absolutely didn't want to touch Yu-Gi-Oh with a 6-mile stick when, like, Links first became a thing because of all the FTKs running around.
Oh no, they just fixed that. Thank you, freaking Erratas.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
I mean, to be
All right.
honest,
Do you want to turn this into a tabletop simulator stream? Because I want to play test.
Listen, man. Right now, my PC is in a good space. I don't want to agitate it.
No, you can agitate it.
Hell no, I'm not agitating this PC.
My God, just do it. You ain't
I'm
gonna do it.
streaming and I have like 8 tabs open at the same time, and it's
How
still
do you-
looking strong.
Close those tabs then. Bro, just download more RAM. Like,
No, that requires effort. Well, I think we've gone over everything, right? We've gone over the Amori letter, we've gone over the product stream, the Twitter.
yeah, so we can play some tabletop
the
simulator.
community meltdown. Honestly, if you're still honestly right, listen, guys. Like, I understand we all love to play Vanguard. Vanguard is one of our favorite games, if not our favorite game of all time. I know it is for me. But like, come on, guys. Like, okay, yeah, I understand. Like, yeah, Derek is broken. But to be honest, right? To be honest, sometimes when you're arguing so much over fate, don't let me show you Vanguardians. It's a mess in there. But
So here's my thing. Like, if you're part of this Vanguard community, please just don't quit the game after one stupid card.
Yeah, like I see so many people saying, "No, I draw Vanguard because of this one broken thing."
Or we're going to be
I drop Vanguard. I'm going to Flesh and Blood or Digimon or Yu-Gi.
Cool. Go to V Premium or something. Like, here's the thing. Look, like, you can see the card is busted as its own thing, as its own right. You can look at it, say, "Wow, it's busted," but look into what deck it's going into. Look into the broader spectrum. Here's the thing. Like, look at, like, here's the thing. Even other places where Bruce is prominent, guess what's still topping? One of the top 2, and especially Bastion being the deck that keeps it in check right now as well. Like, out of the design, it sucks that it's still the top 2. Those are the top 2 decks, but by design, by design of all of Overdress is that anything can essentially win. If you guys have seen Vision, right? The recent Vision tournament that they started doing, remote fights. The deck that won that whole event was fucking Hexa Orb.
Yeah, so my point is that the people who are arguing on Facebook and are having these really hot takes and are just biting each other's heads off, how about take 10 minutes, right?
Breathe.
I'm not saying touch grass, nerd. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying take 10 minutes.
Breathe.
Don't go. How about go hug your mom, or say hi to your dad, or go make a meal. Do something that won't give you such a fucking headache. Because even me talking about it, I have a headache.
Like, here's the one thing I need everyone to do is literally breathe, my man.
Yeah, go on a bike ride. Go to the mall. Go see a movie. I'm sure there's some good movies going out. Don't spend so much energy. Because here's one thing people don't understand, right? Do not spend so much energy arguing over a card game when you could be doing something else. Don't drop so much of your time on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It doesn't matter. Don't drop so much of your time arguing over a card game, because to be honest, the same people that's arguing are the same people that are gonna buy the next set, no matter what. I'm telling you right now, the people who are arguing about Bruce already have set 3, 4, and 5 pre-ordered. I swear to you, like, I'm telling you right now. So no matter what, right, Bushra is gonna make their money. They're not gonna go bankrupt anytime soon. Especially with the new adventures they're doing right now, like fuck's sake.
Like, here's the thing,
doing
like
great.
what Bushiroad did with this reset, what this new reset is a fresh start for us to gather up as a community and involve our interest into this community, right? So we're not, by the end of the day, we're not going to be even close to the big three of Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh, but at least it gives the community a shot to introduce people into it and have just the laughs and funs of everything. Granted, there are some of the mechanics busted in this game. Yes, Overtrigger is a bonkers, just terrible thing to have in a competitive play style of Overdress. But like you just can't focus solely on the competitive when you can also focus on the casual that this game is trying to build its foundation on. Like, this company is trying to appease both sides of the spectrum, and there has to be some sort of middle ground.
Yeah.
Like
to be honest, right? Power creep is always going to be a thing in card games. You can't escape power creep. But
power creep,
to be honest, right? Power creep doesn't have to be such a bad thing. I honestly would say their version of the good power creep. For example, Clan Collection, that was good power creep. Because now with these new Heal Guardians, things are not slowed down. Things are really fun. Like, I see a lot of people play more V than D on a regular basis, which is kind of scary. But whatever.
Because like there's more variety in V.
Yeah. So
it's more out of three like formats. I can completely agree. It's more balanced. It's more of an like the state of V Premium as is right now has gone into an open meta rather than a closed 6-deck meta that Premium has. Freaking what's it called? 2-deck meta in Bruce and Bastion. Like, you can honestly be confident go into a V Premium tournament, bring any deck you feel confident and know what the hell you're doing, and come out on top. Like,
yeah. So I think we've aired out our opinion. Yeah. I think a lot. It's currently 7:53. I think is this a 4-hour stream? I think it's a 4-hour stream. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it should
be. Let me scroll down all the way back here. Don't do that. It has been about 3.5 hours. So we've been going on for a while now about the state of Vanguard and whatnot. Honestly, I understand right now it may seem like a bumpy start. Like, we were going well for a little bit, and now these new cards be like, oh, why play the air when it's so toxic? Like, I understand, right? But I'm pretty sure Different Fight and Solemn Vanguard is the exact same thing, right? Don't get off the ride before it gets to the good stuff, you know? Don't hop off the ride. It's like reading a book, right? You read a book and the first 2 chapters aren't what you like, so you just don't read the rest of the book. No.
Right.
Don't get off the ride. Don't give up the book before it gets to the good bits. Because I swear before long, if you get off the ride before it gets to the good stuff, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret the fact you weren't there for the good stuff. Because I'm telling you right now, that new Varina looking hella set. All right.
Here's my one thing. Like, how do you think communities like what is it, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon have thrived in even some of their worst metas? And off of the top of my head with Yu-Gi-Oh, there have been quite a lot of worse metas. FTK meta was the most recent, like, toxic bullshit that you can ever deal with.
Yeah.
That was a meta that you didn't even want to play Yu-Gi-Oh or even touch. If you're not playing FTK...
Yeah, dude, it's like there were too many FTKs and they were all too good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they still have a faithful, like, fan base. So what's stopping us from being confident?
For example, I remember when G dropped, right? G had a very bumpy start. Like, when G first came out, it was like, oh, you ran Legion deck with your G zone, and you didn't. You just kept. I remember Nova Grapple, which is really discussing with Cat Butler, but like, when G first started, right, it wasn't like even the main. Like, to be honest, right. For example, the main character deck wasn't the best deck. Remember that Gear Chronicle was actually not that good when it first started out because you had your Mystery Flare and your Chronos Command, and those two were both on hits.
Oh
and
no,
they
you
both
also forgot
sucked.
Ragnarok.
But
You're getting your big card, Ragnarok, my guy.
But eventually, right, we got Next Stage, we got Fate Rider, we got Epoch, we got all these good cards for Gear Chronicle, and then we got Time Leap.
Here's the
Time
thing.
Leap. We got Time Leap, right? And then we got these
like-
other good, and we got ZTVs and whatnot. So, honestly, right, the people playing the era right now who are jumping ship so early to go play something else, if you're a veteran player, I completely understand because you've been burned so many times and you're getting burned again. But I'm telling you right now, if you play this game as long as any of us have, I know, Brian, you've been playing this game for a long time. Prod, you've been playing this game for a long time. I know I've been playing this game for a long time. You do know that the bad bits come first for the best bits. We all know that. Come on now. We know
honestly,
that the shittiest bits come in before the best bits. Let's go.
Here's the thing: if you were able to survive the Bermuda hell that was back in V Series, you survived this.
Yes, sir.
Like, honestly, this is child's play compared to the Bermuda meta that was V era. That was,
honestly,
I never hated being a Vanguard. Everything was Bermuda.
So like every game has their ups and downs, and to be honest, right? Let's think about this, boys. Right? Vanguard has been going strong for 10 years. And
Exactly.
Everyone, and I've asked the question, how long do you think Vanguard will last? I've gotten 5 years. I've gotten 10 years. I think Vanguard, honestly, right? I don't think Vanguard's going anywhere because I know a lot of people like to debate and talk and argue about the reveals of certain cards, but you can't really. I don't think you can put an expiration date on Vanguard just yet. Because Vanguard has now built a community of diehard fans that some people, no matter what, they're gonna buy the next card or buy the next pack.
Oh, I'm gonna bring up a real shout out to a really should be dead community, but it's not kind of dead. Force of Will. You guys are fucking insane. You guys are keeping that shit alive for some god awful reason. You guys are on life support, but yet you guys are so dedicated. Jesus
Wait, what?
fucking Christ.
Force of Will.
Force of Will.
Oh.
I mean, it's dead here in Texas, but I don't know about everywhere else.
God damn, Force of Will is I thought it died out, but it's still alive somehow, and there's still support. Shit. Vanguard could really be something as a niche, as a card game. Granted, we don't want to be on life support.
No, but the thing is that, right? I can't compare Vanguard to Force of Will because the thing is that I can reach out to somebody and say, hey, you want a card fight? And I'll get a response like that. I can't find anyone to play Force of Will. I can't.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to avoid as the Vanguard. Don't just quit the game just because, this meta is bad and everything. There have been other card games that have had it worse. Force of Will being one of them as well.
Yeah.
Where it is hard to find people to play Force of Will or get people into Force of Will.
Yeah, if you're quitting the game for the sole purpose of power creep, then you shouldn't be playing card games to begin with. When you start playing TCGs, when you signed up to play card games long term, that was one of the things on that fine print. Beware of power creep. Every game has power creep. Vanguard has power creep. Pokemon has power creep. Magic has power creep. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has power creep. Flesh and Blood, I'm pretty sure they'll get power creep eventually. Digimon has power creep.
Not even.
I could go on.
Here's another good example. Have you ever played any video games and you want to try to play competitive Smash? Guess what there is? Power creep, motherfucker.
Haha.
Everywhere you go, there will always be a power creep. Regardless if you go into video games, regardless into everything. Metas will shift, and there will always be power creep. There's going to be that one character that's going to be broken. There's going to be that one deck that's going to be broken. Hell, even chess, you know what's broken? White! just because the white pieces can move first.
Yeah. I forgot chess is
actually
power creep in there.
God
dang. You know what else is power creep? You know what else is power creep? Checkers. For the sole fact that you can go over more than one piece and claim it.
Exactly.
You know what else is power
Dude,
creep?
I'm like-
Monopoly. How come the boardwalk in Park Place works so much?
Exactly. Yo. Like, there's always going to be some sort of imbalance somewhere along the line, and you can't.
There's no such thing as a perfect game. But honestly, I agree in both parties. I think you shouldn't argue so much. But I also think you should call out things that are wrong. Because that's the only way the Busher is going to listen if you call it out loud enough. And that's why I think people are doing it on Vanguardian to an extent. I think they're calling out the issue so Busher can fix it. Now, what I don't agree with is that you calling out so much, and when someone has a differing opinion, you start attacking that person. No,
Exactly.
we're not built on that. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
So hold on. One thing I want to add with the power creep thing is like, obviously it's never gonna just not happen. Power creep will always happen, but it's also kind of necessary because like we don't get like super fast, more technical decks without power creep. Like V is in like its state right now because like all these decks, because of how powerful they've gotten. We're starting to finally get a lot more cool, unique, these cool, unique playstyles. Like, obviously, we need to curb certain decks like Gabriel and Prism, but, like, for me, like, Yasui, dude, like, Yasui is, like, if you just went even a year, no, even just 6 months before Yasui first came out, if you had that support just 6 months prior, that would just completely take over the meta.
Also, I have a question for the Vanguard community, right? I have a question, and I'd like an honest answer, right? So let's say Vanguard, right, it's not, but let's say Vanguard is the perfect game, right? Let's say Derek didn't exist. Let's say Leonard didn't exist. Let's say all these broken cards didn't exist, and Overdress is on a smooth plane of just good, nothing broken. Just good cards, great cards, and you see, and everyone's on the same balanced playing field. Everyone's on the same level. Everyone's on the same thing and all that. You know what I call that? Fucking boring.
Like
it's only boring if like everyone's on the same field and if like all these decks are super slow. Like the reason V is so fun for me is like. There are a lot of decks that can actually compete with each other, but like I said, like with Yasui being a lot stronger than just how decks were just 6 months prior. Like
here's the funny thing. It's just like people treated Yasui as a big joke when it first came out, and I'm just like,
honestly, sorry to cut you Prod, but honestly, I'll hold that L. I thought Yasui was shit when I first saw it. I had to be brought into the light. I'm sorry. I think Yasui's good now.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm just using him as an example because I literally played the deck, but like that power creep was kind of required to really achieve that kind of speed with the deck, but because of it, the deck's really fun to play.
Exactly.
And then like if I didn't have Neodo for those draws, for that insane like soul generation to be able to pull off these combos I can do with the deck, the deck would probably be pretty boring. And then same with like a bunch of other decks. Like I'm sure what's another like really fast deck that's pretty fun to play? Because like with Hyuga, like he was really strong at the time, right? But he was pretty slow, and he was just strong for his time. Right now, he doesn't do shit. Like he is way too slow for what he does.
If I was to pick like the stronger deck between Hyuga and Yasui, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd pick Yasui.
Yeah, it's obviously fucking Yasui. Like if Yasui was if Yasui wasn't better than Hyuga, he wouldn't be played more often. No.
The reason why I say because remember Brian, right? I haven't played Yasui as much as you have, granted, but I did play a bit of Hyuga. And what I've seen, and I fought against Yasui for a amount of times. Thanks, Brian. But the thing is that whenever I see Yasui and Hyuga, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, right, I see Hyuga as like this massive explosion of power. and that's it. It just stops. Like it's a massive turn explosion of a massive attack, and that's it. It just ends. When Yasui, it's like Yasui isn't as powerful, but my god, it's more consistent, and it's gonna last a lot longer.
Like here's the thing with playing against Hyuga, it had board control because of its grade 3 Soul Blast, bot deck everything, or shuffle shit back into deck.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, I think like it's essentially like the power creep kind of allows for more technical decks to like be designed, which is essentially what Yasui was.
It really.
Also, can we talk about how when Dollar Buster came out, it kind of just checked Murakumo in general?
Gauntlet Buster, dude. Gauntlet Buster just literally checked God Hand when God Hand came out.
Hyuga was still like
even then.
Hyuga was still one of the top 3 decks. Like,
yeah. Even Gauntlet Buster even got checked by freaking it even checked Hyuga.
No. Even with Gauntlet Buster out, Hyuga was still one of the best decks.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny right now?
Yeah.
Let's say I was asked. Let's say if any of us were asked, right? What's tier 1 right now in V? I'd give you a good 15 decks. I could give you a good 15.
Right? Solid decks right now, I would say that are topping in V. Obviously, we can all collectively agree Prism.
So I say tier 1. Right, like let's say I'd say Prism is tier 0, but let's say Prism doesn't exist, right? I'd say tier 1 is Kagero. I gotta use my hands for this one. Kagero, Grand Blue, Shadow Paladin,
yeah, actually.
Kind of thing.
Gabrielle.
Angel Feather.
Genesis to a certain extent as well.
Oh, definitely Genesis.
Genesis.
Gear Chronicle. I am saying Gear Chronicle. The reason why I'm saying Gear Chronicle is because their hand size is fucking ridiculous. And the fact that Chrono Jet is a sure on hit is stupid.
Okay. I think for tier 1, you should probably keep it a little bit smaller. Like, Chrono Jet would probably be like a really high tier 2, probably.
So the reason why I'm saying Chrono Jet isn't in tier 2, because I'm keeping it broad, because I put fucking Narukami in tier 1 as well. The reason why I'm saying it's not in tier 2 is because like if I put Chrono Jet up against like I don't know Kagero, it claps it. If I put it up against Genesis, it claps it half the time. If I put it up against Gav, if Gav misses, it claps it horribly. Because you know why? Where's your defense? Where's it at? It's gone. Exactly. You know? To be honest, the reason why I'm putting... They
have free PGs.
Wait. You can't go Sentinels. I don't give a fuck about PGs.
Okay, guard the next stage attack.
Okay, so... Block my 91k Chrono Jet with no Sentinels. Block it, I dare you.
Okay, if they're like not almost
do
dead,
it. Watch
you would
me
have
get
to probably
crits.
like
Do it,
them.
bitch.
Oh god. All right.
But like the reason why I say Gear Chronicle right and General Chrono Jet is because like I've been playing it with like the reason why I think it's tier 1 is because it has Ribbolt, it has Time Leaper with that multi attack on first grade 3 turn for 5 attacks, ridiculous. It has next region itself is a reason. Fucking Ear Cab, Chrono Tooth, all these cards right that make it consistent as fuck. If you ask me, hey, Gear Chronicle set 1, do you think it's tier 1? Fuck no. That thing dies to Deletors. What are you talking about? But now. Oh yeah, no, definitely tier 1. That deck is disgusting. Like, why do you think Cam has been consistently topping with it since he first got it? Like, in Prism meta, no less. Like,
yeah,
but
like,
yeah. My point is not to suck your Chronicles deck, but my point is that tier 1 right now in V era is very vast. If not, tier 1 and tier 2 are like right smack dab next to each other. It's not a massive gap between tier 1 and tier 2. It's
the best way to address V Premium as a whole right now. Like the best way to address V Premium as a whole is that it's an open meta. Like it's more or less open meta. Like you still do have your solid like tier 1 decks that are in there, but like everything has gotten up to a power level where anything can compete with anything.
The only thing I would just change is like hit prisms a little bit.
Prism, yeah.
choice restrict
Yeah.
Gabriel and no shield just due to how toxic it is to just have 0 counterplay whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
When it's
honestly,
like an
right?
80k 7 crit attack
To
with
be
no
honest,
sentinels,
right?
like that's just toxic.
That's the one thing I love about Vanguard right now. All these issues that we're pointing out are very fixable. Very
Yeah.
fixable. They're not like, oh, I gotta remove this and do this. It's not taking off. It's just polish this format a little bit, polish premium a little bit, and just
Well, premium needs some big fucking hits. I'm sorry,
I don't
premium.
know,
has
that's what I'm
got
saying.
some
Like
really...
premium is a big hit, but it's not as in like, oh, I gotta like we gotta think about what we're gonna hit. No, it's right there in front of your face. Like it's
Like,
obvious what you hit in premium.
Clear cut thing. Like everything right now is a clear cut thing. There's no hard thing to kind of like say, oh, it's hard to decide what to hit. Even in D series, it's kind of obvious what to hit.
Yeah.
Like Bruce, you need to hit Hell Dive Full Blast maybe, or Leonard. Like,
Honestly,
those are
you know, I think personally, right? Choice restrict Derek and Leonard. Choice restrict those two. You can't have both at the same time because what made Bruce manageable was that you could play around Leonard. Now with Derek, there's no playing around it. So just restrict those two. Because Hellblast Full Dive, if you didn't have Hellblast Full Dive and you didn't have your Persona Ride, right? Your deck isn't hitting that much high power. You can't tell me, oh, the deck goes to the power really well. You're telling me when decks like Nirvana is hitting 77,000 for no apparent reason with Expecta is the same level as a 15k Eden? No.
like, here's my thing. Like, it's better to hit the Hell Dive Full Blast. Give him the Derek regardless, just because Derek and Leonard is still like Derek still digs. Leonard is still the on-hit pressure card that Fosato is. Like even then, like if you look at Fosato, 15k Fosato is not threatening. Is it a hot hit with a countercharge soul charge? Yes. Like what makes a player want to guard Fosato? Explain to me. What's the one reason most people like to guard?
The recharge.
Yeah, the countercharge, recharge, everything, right? So what's stopping the player from like guarding a double Leonard swing? Like you're committing cards separately.
I'm sorry. 76,000. My bad. From Nirvana. Continue.
That's Nirvana. Okay, listen. PG or die. Honestly.
No, look, I'm on my calculator right now, right? And I'll prove it to y'all that expect to hit 76,000 for no reason. Now watch.
No one can hit 76,000.
13k, right? Base from Expecto. 13k from
13K
Valiente,
base.
right? No,
13k base, 28,
wait, hold on.
13, 20, 26, 26,
13k
26,
from Valiente, right?
41, 46, 56, 56, 56,
Hold on.
56,
Chill out.
66
I'm
1% right,
using
76.
math, science, and logic. 1 second.
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
reach 76 because of Nirvana, Persona, right? And Nirvana itself. Not to mention whatever's on the rest.
Chill out. We got arcs, right? Plus 10. We have what's it called? We have Trickstar plus 5. That's 41. We have Nirvana skill plus 10, 51. Persona Ride 61. Its skill plus 15. We have now 76. It boosted with the you know what? We'll boost it with Reno plus 10. 86,000 to crit at me. You know what? Double trigger.
Well, what's the number?
106,000 for critical.
No, you're missing another 10 just because Nirvana gives it a plus 10k.
No, I give it that. I added that. 106,000.
Oh my god, that's before triggers too.
No, that's after triggers.
After triggers are before. Oh my god.
No. So for the example, so we'll go over it again, right? 13k base from Specta, 13k base from Nirvana, from Valiente, 10k from
26.
Arcs, 5k from Trish, that's 41, 15k from a skill, that's 56, 10k from Nirvana, 10k from Persona Ride, that's 76, 10k from Boost from Reno, that's 86, 2 triggers, 9606.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about how Specta is ridiculous.
That's limiting both Hell Dive Full Boss right now is honestly, it's just the consistent power lines from Bruce and getting that guarantee.
But that new Barrel Magnus tripper though.
Oh yeah, dude, love it.
Oh man,
yeah, it helps it like turbo into 15 so much easier now. Like
Right?
Like,
All you gotta
turn
do
way
is hit
too
Final Rush
slow,
with,
yeah.
with Bruce. Just Legion, bro. Just Legion. Just Legion, bro. Bruce and Barrow Man. Imagine there was a Bruce and Barrow Madness Legion. I would cry.
Stop. So,
Yeah.
I think we've hit all
Honestly,
the
I
beats.
just
Oh, we're about to
with
close
the
the
new
podcast real quick.
uh,
Yeah. I think we hit all
Honestly,
the beats. What's up?
I was just gonna say I feel like the new triple rare slot for Darkseid should have just went to Bio Magnus and then Diablo should have honestly just kept that one triple rare that I got. No, not triple rare. Sorry, double rare.
If I think it was a double R, I would legit lose my mind. Anyway, so I think we've done
not
everything.
I felt like Derek should have just been replaced with like some new like Bio Magnus like triple rare. Well, like the one double rare, double rare that Bruce got.
Like, here's the thing: they did that with Barrow Magnus in set 2, and
we need to do this in a private chat.
Anyway,
it's been 4 hours. I am hungry. I am tired. I got school tomorrow. And I think we talked Vanguard to death already. So I hope y'all enjoyed that comeback stream. I'll try and do one again next weekend if I'm not fucking dead. But like, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Also, if you're again,
tune in next week for Flagberg.
Huh?
Tune in next week for Flagberg.
The card's shit. Anyway, so
Alright.
so no, I'm tired. The podcast, it's done. The podcast is over. So y'all say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye. Even though I joined like at last minute.
You missed out a good chunk of this.
Later, guys. Bye.